If Love and Gogi is wrong, I don't want to be right.
What would Socrates say to that?
It tickles my fancy.
Okay.
Okay.
Goosies.
I don't have hair.
Oof.
You got Marcos.
That's not.
Wait.
Yeah.
That's true. You do got me. Get over here, Marcus. Let me look at you.
I don't want it.
Tobin and Leroy, ready to deploy. Had to hit it with a little journalism, but that was a decoy. Better have about me, boy. Okay. Leroy and Tobin, hold to the show, man. Still in the stars with the show, and till then his half moon open. Sometimes go taste like a snowman. No proof, I'm a lie about a motor. No proof. Like I always wanted him, I never hated him, I never traded him, and if I did, I never ever traded him. You know what is a star? Like another city, the driver's side flyer. Wish I could large, so many more. 10 in the more, never a bar. Hey, 10 in the more, 2 to the P. Nothing to you, but it's something to me. Handsome as ever and cute as could be. You can watch us on YouTube with viewing for free. Hey, this one time for the Twitch. This one time for the text. This one time for the phone line. Whole time wondering what they gonna do next.
You know, I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
Morning, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Hello, Leroy.
Your communication is like the shot clock communicator with the coach of the Hurricanes.
I think you deserve a -1 for lashing out.
Wow.
Because
-1.
Do you understand the fight and the struggles to get to this building in the mornings? And I look at you and you got your hot latte.
It's a cold brew.
Cold brew,
Cold
right?
brew. Nice. Must be nice.
And I'm ready to fight all of South Florida trying to get here.
Dude, when is the last time you've come in on a Wednesday?
Yeah. God,
Like, that's what everybody finds odd here. You're acting like I'm doing the weird thing. But we had to talk about
I
this.
usually get a message. I check the message and say, let me make sure Toad's not going.
Nope. I'm not going to let you do that because I never get messages.
You tell people when you don't come in.
Nope. No, that's not true. You never tell me. The only time you told me is you told me you weren't coming on Monday because you were saying, I'm doing Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays. We talked about this last week.
Yeah.
And you said you had car trouble. I said, okay, no bigs. I was still going in, But you are the weird one here today. You're in on a Wednesday. You're never in on a Wednesday.
Right.
That's the strange one. You're the weirdo here, not me. And I'm getting yelled at.
All right.
And the odd thing is, I did text yesterday about stuff coming up and communicating and giving everybody heads up on stuff. I didn't think I had to on this because I'm just keeping up. You're the one who called an audible today. Somebody wanted the Miami traffic. That was you. I had a gut instinct. I said, hey, I feel like I'm going to stay home.
Hey, your gut.
Let me tell you something.
That was right.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Why have I been staring at Manti Te'o?
Wow.
He's on Good Morning Football now. He's a star.
What is that? Oh, look, they fired Robert Griffin, and they're like,
no, that's different.
Now that's ESPN. I don't think they fired any. I think the guy they used to have was what are the hell the Twins? One of them was on the Dolphins. Who do they have?
McCourty.
They used to have McCourty. I don't think McCourty's on there anymore.
Yeah.
So Manti Te'o's been doing it. He was giving some love to Tua yesterday.
All right, I'll take it. He was wearing a ridiculous Notre Dame hockey.
It was ridiculous. It was a terrible outfit.
But all right, I'll take love for Tua.
Yeah. Well, I think they moved that show, and that show's on later.
Sorry, that was my fault.
No, I'm just saying that show got moved, and now it's later. It used to be in New York. It used to be on at like 7 a.m.
Yeah.
I don't think it comes on till 10 now from LA. And so I think some other guys didn't want to make the trip, and they said, hey, Manti Te'o, what do you think?
Yeah, makes sense. Congrats.
Leroy, all he can think about, though, Leroy can just looks at the TV and he just thinks catfish.
Yeah.
Like
or he was one of those hype college players that was a dud in the NFL.
He was a dud, but he did play for what? 7 years?
Did he?
Wow.
Yeah, we talked about this. We did this recently. We looked up his resume. He played for like 7 years.
Okay. Well,
But he wasn't like he was in college.
Because I'm a firm believer if you can make it 7 years in any capacity, then you're impressing somebody.
Yeah, he was not, obviously you referred to this last week. Yeah, he was defensive Tim Tebow, but he had a more successful career than Tim Tebow did.
Absolutely. And that's why I just backed down. I like, I do quarterbacks playing a long time a little bit different.
Mm.
Right? Because if you get any NFL starts, that means you could be a backup for 10 years.
Right. Headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
I do have to know, based on your outfit, do you have a red track bottom as well? Because are you like working for the Russian mob now? Oh, okay.
Wait. I did coordinate.
Oh, okay.
I was like, you look like you're a fan of Sergey Kovalev. Excuse me.
Oh my goodness.
Excuse me.
Scared. Hey, I don't know why they had to go to the bathroom so much. I wanted to tell them it was annoying.
I think,
but then I didn't.
I think oligarch KGB business. That was
my goodness.
bathroom that they had to go with. So the Miami Dolphins, their 53-man roster is set.
This is the first time, and correct me if I'm wrong, where you had 30 to 40 guys get cut and you only know 2 names.
Yeah, I'd say so. I would say like
right.
I would say like 5 guys. I was like, oh, yeah,
right. Well, and two of the guys they brought in,
right,
and signed, and they just cut bait on them.
Yeah, there was. I would say like out of like the maybes, the most. I don't even want to say stunning, but the ones that were like, all right, which way is this going to go? Ezukanma.
Well, I heard something on the way in because it took so damn long. Was this as great as he was in preseason? The last 2 preseasons, he is a preseason Hall of Famer.
Yep,
he's only had 3 catches in the NFL.
Yeah,
so you can waive him and bring him back. Nobody's going to steal him.
I don't think so.
You see what I mean? Because he has,
and he's at durability, and he had a bad injury last year, a neck injury that derailed him, and then he's dealing with something here. And then Chris Brooks, he had the concussion and he got hurt in the last game too. So both guys that were kind of on the fence, it's availability. Like, I don't know if they're going to be good to go or not.
It's weird because if you're those guys and they say it's an availability thing and you look around this team, you're like, really?
Yeah, well, you're not Odell Beckham. I don't know what to tell you.
But yeah, so and I would say this, and I was kind of upset when this happened. Why would you let Andrew Van Ginkel go? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
When he was probably your best pass rusher at the end of the year, and he would have been one of those guys you could bring back for that mid-level, not the super high, but not the super cheap, somewhere in the middle. You could have brought him back at a reasonable price because there's certain things that we knew we're going to have to improve out of the young guys. And what do we say about Storm Duck? Doesn't set the edge.
Chop Robinson.
Right? Chop Robinson, sorry. And so from that standpoint, that is like, just look at what happened to Dallas. When their star didn't set the edge well, they ran at him. So you can't play him a whole bunch of plays.
Well, yeah, they definitely he was a good player. They let him go. And I think that, the price there between like him and Barrett too, I don't think it was like that crazy. So that was definitely a weird one in the offseason.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I think the thing you talked about this yesterday with the tight ends, right? Like they went double the tight ends they did last year because they got Tanner Connor and Jonnu Smith, and that kind of allows them to be
flexibility with what they could do with that third wide receiver.
Right. Which, I mean, like their receivers, I mean, they couldn't ride a roller coaster. I mean, they're all 5'8" guys, but 2 of their 5'8" guys are amazing.
Wait, who's 5'8"?
Jalen Waddle.
Jalen Waddle's not 5'8".
Oh, okay, dude. I'm sorry. We'll quibble over 5'9".
No.
They got him listed at 5'10", but they also have 5'10".
All right, so all right. I thought he was taller.
Nah.
Which is why I thought for sure they would keep Ezukanma.
Yeah, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill are both 5'9"ers, and then you got 5'8" Braxton Berrios and 5'8" Malik Washington.
Right. Well, Malik Washington also weighs about $150.
Yeah, so tiny receiver core. But
yes. It's very cyclical. Because remember, there was a point in time where everybody wanted a giant as a wide receiver.
Yep.
And we went through that stretch of 10, 15 years where everybody wanted that big, strong receiver outside. And you start looking at all the guys who had success in that. You look at the Randy Moss, the Owens, you look at Megatron, you look at just all these.
How tall is Larry Fitzgerald? Is he like 6'3"?
Larry Fitzgerald. Right. You look at all these guys who were giants, and now it's kind of switched again and went back to think about the Dolphins with Dan Marino.
Yeah, we were doing this yesterday because we were looking at the TV and man, Ayuk is a giant, and he's really not.
He's not.
He's not. He's just compared to the Dolphins.
To everybody else.
The Dolphins receivers are very, very short, very short. But obviously, look, they're gonna get at one point. They'll likely get. I guess I shouldn't count my chickens on the Odell Beckham thing. But
and keep in mind, I don't think they thought he would be here, right? But they have him for later on in the season.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you one thing that kind of annoys me with it though. Why so much secrecy, right? Because yesterday all of the reports came out and they're like, oh yeah, he had an off-season procedure and this was expected all along. I'm like, well, why did 24 hours ago the coach say, oh, it's TBD if he's going to be on the PUP list still? I'm like, that's one of those things that seems like there's something there they're doing some damage control on, Well,
here's the problem. And here's how you explain this. He had a procedure. They knew about it. Right? So it wasn't a surprise. The surprise, however, was how long it's taken to get him on the field. Right? So you can't say you didn't know about it. Right? You can't say you didn't know about the injury or about the procedure. And I think a lot of it has to do with, knees start rubbing, bones start rubbing together, and you see how that affects basketball players. Well, football is even harder, right? And you got to monitor that, and you have to be careful with that, and they have these procedures to try to help with that, but it sometimes takes a while to come back. So they knew about it. They knew about the procedure. However, they're not going to come and say, hell, we didn't know it was going to take this long for him to come back. We wouldn't have gave him $3 million, right? That's why you kind of get the kind of, wishy-washiness, because they kind of knew they don't want to show any frustration with Odell because the injury is the injury. And you can't have a problem with his recovery if you knew what he was going to have.
I just think that if this was the case, why is there always this shroud of mystery? Just say, hey, he dealt with something. There's a long-term plan to this, and I don't even think anybody is gonna have issue with that, And then when you just leave all this stuff out in the ether to interpret, you're like, all right, it kind of comes off as worse.
Let me read this. I'm a 5'9" I think I should try out. I run a 4.2, but it's in the 26-yard dash. My nickname is Tyreek Downhill.
Gets it going.
But that's, look. I just think in a season where you have a lot of expectations and a lot of promise, it just seems like you're starting the season off kind of like the last season ended.
A little bit.
And I get real nervous about that, not because it doesn't happen, but because now in a week and a half and in 2 weeks, you are going to play 2 games. and you got guys who haven't really done a whole bunch of practicing, and you're going to have them rev it up to play 2 NFL games in 4 days? I worry about that.
We will take a break. Back with more after this.
WQA.
Without a dope beat, step two, step two.
Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you.
Dude,
what?
Can I just say this? Our boss is something else.
What happened?
How dare he?
So I'm going to get my prepared snacks. I go and Marcos is leaving the thing. I'm like, you just got here. You leaving again? I got to go let Lynn in. He wants me to let him in the main lobby. I'm like, the main lobby?
Main lobby?
What the hell is that? Right? So I go to get my stuff. I come back. Lynn's walking through the door.
Mm-hmm.
I go, where's Marcos? He goes, oh, normally in the morning I put my key on this side, but this morning I put it on the other side, so I thought I didn't have it. So I called Marcos. Then Marcos comes over through the door. He's like, sorry, Marcos.
Damage is done.
Right.
Yeah, I got a nice tour of the building. I'm sweating from the humidity.
Wait, but I'm just saying.
All good.
Who used that? Hey, that phrase only worked when we had employees.
Man.
We had members. They used to have people at the front desk.
Yeah, main lobby.
Right? You used to have to push the little button and they'd ring you up.
Yeah. Good
No.
times. Remember that?
Yeah, you'd be like, hey, let me in. I love that.
Yep.
Love that. So this was just released this morning. We knew the show was coming out, but we have a release date on it now. The Netflix show that was following a lot of the NBA stars, including Jimmy Butler, has a release date on it. It's called Starting Five, and it's coming out in October 9th. I don't know why I got a
See how they try to sneak
I don't know why I got a
old
French
Tatum
version
in
of
there?
this. Who?
They always try to sneak old Tatum in there.
Tatum's in the show. Yeah, well, it follows LeBron, Tatum, Anthony Edwards,
I know that,
Domantas-
but
Domantas Sabonis.
they
and,
always include Tatum in all of these NBA things.
yeah. Well, I was just watching the commercial, which it's not that great a commercial. It's like all five of them in a group chat of on Instagram, and Tatum's the one who starts it off, says, last year was a movie, guys, let's relive it. And like, there's no way Jimmy Butler's responding to that in the real world.
No way, dude.
There's no way he's responding to that chat in the real
Did they
world.
have like a response from Jimmy? Was he like, yeah, let's
They do,
it?
yeah. It was the most unrealistic thing.
Hey,
Oh,
ever.
yeah.
Smeaton says it perfectly. How about Jimmy puts a release date on some playoff wins?
Well, you want to know something? That's the thing I'm actually interested in with this show, right? Because I'm wondering, Jimmy's a very fascinating guy off the court. Very fascinating guy. He has a lot of, as has been dubbed, side quests. And I think he's going to be, I would think if you showed me a show of who is going to be the most interesting to follow between these five guys, I'm going Jimmy off the court. And I'd say probably on the court, Anthony Edwards, because I want to hear him bleep talk all the time. But
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure LeBron's got some stuff, but it's produced by LeBron. He ain't giving us the goods. So I am kind of curious because everybody feels like, Jimmy dogged it a little bit last year and found reasons to miss games and went to tennis, but then I couldn't play the Knicks, like all this, like, is this show going to reveal some of the struggles that Jimmy went over, or is it going to piss off the Heat fan because you're going to get a look and say, hey, why are you hanging out with Carlos Alcaraz but can't hang out on the court? Like, I want to know what the reaction.
So you don't want to see them showing everybody getting ready for games and stuff, and Jimmy hobnobbing through South Florida.
Well, four of these guys play a lot of games.
Right.
LeBron, Ant, Tatum, Sabonis, they don't miss a lot of action. Jimmy, he missed a lot of games last year, and I'm wondering what this. I am curious, like, what the reveal is going to be on this show, as far as like what went on last year and why there was these many missed games, or if it's going to show, the guy was really, really banged up last year and he couldn't go a lot. Taking the playoff injury out of it, obviously, I know he had a real injury at the end of the season.
Do we know more or less when it starts? That's what we're trying to find out, right? Because
The show?
Yeah, not the show. Like, when did the coverage begin? I want to know if we're gonna have an opportunity to see him on a horse in Miami, or are we going to have an opportunity to see him in that music video?
I think all of it was last. I think it followed him all of last year, the Netflix cameras.
And that's why he lived a hell of a life last year because
he always lives a hell of a life.
He does, but last year I was like, okay, we got the bubble guts after the U.S. Open. Is that what we're talking about right now, or whatever Wimbledon? I don't know.
Well, that's that's gonna be the thing. It's like, if Jimmy has these, and Jimmy Butler has a love for all sports outside of basketball, and then you see him just pounding drinks at the U.S. Open and be like,
yeah,
I don't know if I got this one in me.
Tomorrow, I gotta call out tomorrow, guys. May have to call out.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, is this Netflix show going to annoy the Heat fan, or is it going to be like, oh, now I get why Jimmy missed so much action?
I think it's going to annoy him, because why would a fan understand or think that if Pat doesn't?
Yeah, I feel like
Pat didn't say Jimmy went through some stuff, right? Pat said he needed to play more games. That's it, point blank. So why would a fan watch something and then go, oh, Pat, you were hard? No, they're not going to do that.
I don't know, because what if it shows?
Come on, dude.
What if it shows Jimmy Butler's like, guys don't know, but I got to get some more electric pulse shock therapy to get it going, just to get the old wheels turned for the next day.
Pat wasn't aware that if that was happening?
I don't know. I don't know.
You don't think the team would know what he was going through?
I think Jimmy's kind of got his own operation.
Oh, well, then he should have been a little more clear, and Pat maybe wouldn't have went that route. But if Pat went that route, you think a fan is not going to go that route? That's what you're like. I don't know what's crazy. That's crazy.
I mean, I don't know. I was like listening to a podcast yesterday with Hassan was on the OGs, and Hassan was talking about Pat Riley one time worked him out at the Heat. Like, nobody's ever worked him out harder. He worked him out, and while Pat was wearing full suit, making him lick his palms and touching the backboard. He's Pat Riley. Like, he comes from a different era.
Again, injury is injury, right? And you think Pat is going to say something like that with his star player?
Well, I mean, he
knew he was hurt.
He's done that plenty of times, though. He's done that with Goran. Even with Goran banged up, he did that with Goran. He did that with D-Wade. He's called guys out even being banged up. He's done that before.
And I would think that maybe he had a point that he maybe felt that there were some games, right, that these guys could have went and they didn't for whatever reason. Like, that's something you just hear. That's something you don't just say just to say. When Pat Riley said that, you don't say it just to say it. And so I'm thinking, you think fans are going to say, oh, Pat, you were too hard on Jimmy. Look at what was going on. No.
Possible. It's possible.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm willing to hear things.
You're absolutely wrong on that.
I'm willing to see Jimmy's side on this if that's the camera show.
Listen, again, all I'm saying is this, without saying anything, should there be something you see about Jimmy's injury that the Heat didn't know about? And if the Heat knew, then why would Pat be going after him like that? That's my whole point.
Well, in fairness, Pat was going after him for chitter chatter mostly. He told him to keep his mouth shut because he was talking about, games that he wasn't playing in.
So Waddle Bay Wild says, oh, look at Leroy making assumptions of what Pat Riley meant by his words. He said exactly these words. He need to play more games.
He did say that.
So I don't know what the hell you talking about, Waddle baby Waddle. Wow.
Anger in that.
And I'm not making those assumptions. He did say that. And I said, would he go after Jimmy if it is shown that Jimmy was actually really hurt? And why wouldn't he know that?
Josh Hart says, why Sabonis had to sprinkle in some intangible?
Yeah.
I think we all have the same question when Sabonis is brought to things of why Sabonis.
Yeah.
You've been saying that since Indiana.
Not a fan.
You hate Sabonis the way Leroy
Hey,
hates Aaron
you see
Rodgers.
this? Look, now they doing what you do. So I make a valid point, call him out on this mess, and you're just lashing out.
It's not that I hate Sabonis. It's just like Sabonis. No, I don't hate Sabonis. It's nothing against Sabonis. It's just like, like Sabonis does something that like Bam does in his sleep. Like, oh, Sabonis, you're the best. 15 and 15. Congrats, Sabonis. 900 straight double-doubles. It's like, yeah, but can he stop a chair? You know, can he do anything?
It is actually weird.
Didn't he make the all defensive team?
He made all NBA last year.
All NBA. Yeah. So, okay.
Which I find a little bit. He is one of those guys that gets pumped up a little more than maybe he should, because I think there's a lot of players who could easily do what he does.
It's one of the, this is look. I don't want.
He doesn't really play defense. All he does is get rebounds and putbacks and stuff like that.
I don't mean to be. I don't mean to be the old man in the poker room here and be like, he's good. He's good. He's good. No bad about it. You know, like that's how I just feel, and I feel like, you know, he gets. They just have these guys like media darlings people love. But anyway, maybe he'll be like Kirk Cousins. You know, he'll surprise everybody in this Netflix series. Everybody's like, "Oh, I love Sabonis now."
True. I did
Kirk Cousins.
Oh, I loved him.
Everybody loved Kirk Cousins after the quarterback show.
Yeah,
he was a media darling. Loved it. Loved
it. Take a break. Back after this.
This hour of Tobin
Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 W. What's Leroy doing? Is he hobnobbing with Galen?
He's well, not this time. He's in the Power Studios. Last I checked, he was bad mouthing me about buying used shoes, and I don't like how you guys refer to it as used shoes.
Dead man shoes.
They're not dead man shoes. They're just normal. There's a whole market for them. People do this. Not weird. I'm telling you.
Schmieden says Tobin booked a room at the Hotel California Pizza Kitchen. I'm not a big fan of California Pizza Kitchen.
Oh, they got a good barbecue.
It's about the only pizza I'm not a fan of, but I'm not like.
No, first of all, here, I don't know how you guys feel about this.
All right.
I don't want to see a head of lettuce, a whole cut tomato, spinach, right? I don't want to see that sprinkled over the top. It just looks like, no, I don't want a salad on my pizza.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what California Kitchen does.
Yeah, I don't like
all
that.
The bougie people, oh, I have a California Kitchen, right? Like, nope, I need some meat, and I prefer, like, I sometimes hate when you get sausage and they do the big slice, like the circle sausage like that. It looks like pepperonis.
Yeah,
I don't like that either.
Can I tell you something I don't like also? And I learned this. I was reading Ira's article on the Jimmy Butler thing. I didn't know this. I saw this at the end of the article, but turns out he reported this like 10 days ago. So sorry, Ira, I missed this one. But the Heat, I don't like this. Training camp in the Bahamas this year? Really? Like,
so that's where we're doing media day?
No, they're doing media day at the Kaseya Center.
Damn.
But Galen, if you want to send us to the Bahamas, I mean, I could change my opinion on this. But for right now, we're not going to the Bahamas.
Come let him in. You think he's going to send us to the Bahamas?
Hey, Galen, send us to the Bahamas.
He said that because of the incident that he is kind enough to purchase me lunch. I said, hey, don't worry about it. You can just get me something from the vending machine. I can switch it to the Bahamas trip.
Yes. Switch to hey, Galen, send us to the Bahamas. But if he doesn't send us to the Bahamas, let me just say, they don't deserve a Bahamas training camp this year. No Bahamas training camp for the Miami Heat this year.
I don't want to see people out on the beach.
You want to know something right now? Pella Larson is going into his first Miami Heat training camp, and it doesn't come with Mai Tais, okay? I need them to have
Mai Tais in Bahamas.
Oh, they do Mai Tais everywhere, dude. Everywhere there's an island, they have Mai Tais all the time.
Bahamas is rum everything.
Bahamas.
What does a Mai Tai have in it?
Get a couple.
Does a Mai Tai have rum in it?
Yeah, that's rum for sure. But no, it's definitely Bahama Mamas. That's what they get.
Rum runners. Let me just tell you something. Less rum runners, more training camp running, okay? Yeah. I need Khalil Ware to be bathed in Miami Heat culture. And times are just changing. You know, used to be a Bahamas training camp. That was a reward, you know? And instead, they're going and hobnobbing on the islands. No. This needs to be a Jacksonville training camp. Remember when they went to the Army base the first year of the Big Three? That's what this team needs. They need an Army base training camp.
In Boca?
Yeah. What is this? Bahamas training camp after that performance last year?
They should be in Homestead.
Yes. They need to be going and working out at the Homestead Miami Speedway, abandoned
house with the trains.
Watch out for the trains, but yes, they should be over there instead.
Get out of here with they get to train in the Bahamas this year. Ridiculous. What is that?
To train in Sioux Falls.
Yeah. And I'm definitely not saying this because Galen's not going to send us to the Bahamas. I mean, I'm sure the reporters who are going, you're like, yes, Bahamas. But you want to know something? No Bahamas for this team. They don't deserve the Bahamas. Ridiculous. Right. So let me get this straight. We're going to sit here after last year and you're just going to let these guys go on a water slide? What the hell is that?
Just have a fun day at Coco Cay?
Yeah. Huh? What else? Is this going to be, you guys going to run suicides doing snorkeling? Like, get out of here, dude.
No, you can't. Hey, wait. First of all, let's be realistic. Right? Only the white basketball players don't do snorkeling. Why you
on intangibles wall?
Too far. You went too much.
One side of the locker room, Duncan, Kevin Love, Pella. Hey guys, we're going snorkeling. Jimmy's like, nah, we're not.
Nah.
No, we're not, dude.
I'll tell you what, I have never been more scared because I knew what a barracuda looked like. They tell you, they have the nets around the little resort, but they say, be careful. The barracudas can fit through. Don't put any earrings or wear any silver chains because they're attracted to the chains, right? Barracudas got some evil teeth, right?
Yeah, barracudas love the shiny stuff.
So we're underwater looking, right? And I see two fish like this swimming at me.
Haseo says, what are they going to do? Drills on a lazy river? Exactly, dude.
That's what happened here. The lazy river.
The last 2 seasons have been lazy river through the regular season. Bahamas.
D bought that one time you guys went on vacation. Mrs. Tobin decided she was going to book the Airbnb, that weird little trailer.
Yeah, that's where they should be doing training. They need to go have training camp in the middle of nowhere, Central Florida. Apopka, dude. That's where they need to be training. What the hell is this? They get a Bahamas training camp. Hey, the only people who got to travel and enjoy their summers already did. Spo, bam. They got to go travel the world. Everybody else, send their ass to North Florida.
Yeah.
Hey, it's pretty amazing because now that you mentioned that trip, Tobe was all excited. We all went to Tennessee or to North Florida.
Dude, I was
care of everything. He goes,
like,
hey,
oh yeah, she set it up. Get there. There's like rust on the trailer.
We were staying and it cost $250 for the week.
I didn't understand.
Well, you had to know.
Guy pulls up on a rusty golf cart. How y'all doing?
You had to know. You had to know when she said it cost $250.
I don't even understand this, dude. Going to the Bahamas for training camp? What kind of training camp is that? If you thought the Dolphins had a soft training camp.
They should train in Siberia like Rocky.
Yeah. What?
Train, let Gogi set it up.
Yeah. Send their ass to Slovenia. That's where they need to be. Although I got to say, I didn't realize how beautiful Slovenia was based on all the beauty shots.
Yeah.
A lot of mountains. A lot of mountains. But I'm a
flat earther.
What?
I don't care about the mountains.
Oh, not like Kyrie. Okay.
Not like Kyrie. I'm just flat.
You believe in a round earth. You just like the world flat. I got you.
I mean, though, I did live up north for a lot of my years. And I didn't, it was cool.
Kyle says,
I like golfing, terrain and stuff like that.
Kyle says, may as well go to the middle of nowhere in West Palm. They don't deserve the Bahamas. Agreed. This year had Kaiser University written all over it. Like last year they did FAU. Okay, didn't work out that great, but at least like Boca's pretty nice. They got some nice resorts in Boca. But that's your response? Bahamas training camp?
You know the problem with last season? We went to Boca. We got to do the Bahamas again, guys. Right? The mojo. Sure, dude. That was Ira Winderman secretly telling Cole Swider he needs to suggest that.
Cole Swider was looking forward to it now. Where does Indiana hold training camp? I bet you it's in the middle of nowhere.
Good luck.
Crazy.
I can't even say. Remember, Michigan went to, didn't they go to Italy or Paris or something?
Yeah. Crazy. This Jim Harbaugh's a nut job. Guy's sitting here.
I'm telling you think he's crazy. He's been that way his whole life.
He was sitting here and he goes, yeah. He goes, I wish I was stuck on. Did you see that the Chargers all got stuck on an elevator?
Oh, I did see that.
Not all of them.
Like a lot of them, dude. Like a lot of them.
First of all, there's a weight limit.
Whatever the weight limit was, they were dealing with that. And Harbaugh was like jealous because he didn't get stuck in the elevator with them. Because
that's easy to say when you didn't get stuck on the elevator.
Well, Jim Harbaugh strikes me as the guy who likes, he likes just when it's just talking, nothing else.
Everyone is glad they did not get stuck with Jim Harbaugh.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Jim Harbaugh seems like the guy who gets stuck on an elevator and he's got like nothing but elevator facts. He goes, it was invented.
Yes. Or he starts telling stories
the guys and the two women that were on that elevator. I mean, that's a win. You feel good about yourself. You were challenged and it was a test of will, and you pull it down. pull it in. You know, I was watching as each person came off the elevator. I mean, sweating, and you know, some had the shirt off. Justin Herbert, his hair was a little wet, but his shirt was completely dry. That's another thing that blew me away. The guy is just a beast.
Whoa.
Because he didn't sweat?
Leroy, your boy is crazy. I'm not going to
Listen, you know, I defend my guys, right? You know I'm going to defend my guy. But damn, Jim, why don't we reel it in a little bit? That's too much. Like, getting excited because a guy in a room with a whole bunch of other sweaty athletes didn't sweat?
Because a guy wore a dry fit.
Yes, that's it.
This Justin Herbert.
So he was checking for sweat. That meant how tough you were?
Yeah.
I guess
You
so.
didn't sweat. Woo! He's a killer.
It
Woo!
sounds like the Miami Heat should have training camp in the Chargers elevator
That's what they
if it's so
deserve.
damn hot.
Well, that's how they've been playing basketball. So I would rather them play in a more open space.
Ridiculous. How are you guys going to finish in the play in the last 2 years and you decide, you know what? You know what's really going to harbor the season and get everybody on edge? Island drinks. I got to sit here and Thomas Bryant is drinking out of a pineapple.
Look at that.
Steven says, sounds like Harbaugh set that up. What sicko would set up? Hey,
Just a test.
let's close up that elevator to see how they handle this.
Quick, turn it off.
Panic test.
That's rough.
This is ridiculous, dude.
Again, I can't do this.
What do you got?
Manti Te'o.
Manti Te'o, then he's still.
He's
These are
being
rats.
more intense than he was when he played.
Rats off a ship on Manti Te'o, huh?
I thought you said that you were gonna apologize and back off ever since we found out he played 7 years.
I mean, he tried.
No. I'm not attacking his career.
You just said he's more animated than when he played.
Right.
That's not attacking his career.
I definitely didn't expect Manti Te'o to have a media career.
No, I didn't expect it to. I thought he'd want to be as far away from the media as possible.
But I guess if Greg McElroy can do it.
Oh my goodness. There are a few guys. You know, I never I was asked
To do NFL Network?
to do just different stuff.
Yeah, you have IMDb actually.
I didn't want to travel.
Fair.
Yeah. I wish you had.
And
wish-
plus, keep in mind at the time I was having surgery every 3 months.
I wish the Heat had your mentality for training camp.
What?
Didn't want to
Not
travel.
traveling.
Do both thumbs?
Ridiculous. You want I was listening to this Hassan Whiteside with UD yesterday,
Ooh.
and he was talking about this conditioning test that he was put through, and UD's like, "Yeah, we don't do that anymore." You want to know what kind of craziness? They don't do the conditioning test before the season anymore.
Oh
the
man,
famous Heat conditioning test.
Bill did that.
And
Belichick did that test.
do you want to know? Do you want to know what kind of a low you've hit when Hassan Whiteside is like, man, these new kids these days, huh? Hassan Whiteside. It's on you.
Hey.
Do it like we did, UD.
Oh my goodness.
What did he explain why we don't do that anymore? Or he just said, "No, we don't do that anymore."
I'll tell you one reason why. Jimmy.
No.
Yeah.
Mr. Arrive at 4 in the morning, putting buckets up at 4 a.m.
Yep. That was the first Jimmy Butler story. I remember that. And you want to
Let me explain something to you. Okay. You guys are suckers.
What?
Suckers. A conditioning test is brutal.
Yeah, of course. That's why I want it.
How about this? You ready?
Yeah.
Bill wouldn't let you practice until you passed it.
That's what I thought we were doing. I thought we were still doing that.
I was floored yesterday. I was like, man, Hassan Whiteside is talking about the old school days of the Miami Heat.
That's when you know it's time. Listen,
Wow, bro.
and they're responding
at
with
that
the
point,
Bahamas.
as much as I am a fan of UD, right? At that point, I'm gonna take a break. When y'all chit chat with like, first of all, a guy who really pissed off all of y'all, and you having meaningful conversation with him now.
Yeah.
I gotta take a break. I gotta take a break.
Well, the Heat are going to take a break. It's called training camp in the Bahamas.
Well, like, you know what's funny?
I'm really floored.
You know
about
what's
this.
funny?
What?
I would like to
The
take
conditioning
you
test.
and put you through some type of training camp
Mhm.
so you understand what you think is easy or hard or whatever.
Mhm.
Like, come on, dude, stop.
Yeah, okay.
So
but
you think it's because they're in the Bahamas, they're gonna take it easy. You know, they practice harder than almost anybody, right?
they practice harder than anybody. Yeah, but you want to know something? Even if
They don't
you
play games. That's
if-
the difference.
you could put me through the most rigorous workout ever, Leroy, even to meme me and have me dying on camera, and I'll do it for you. But you want to know what's going to make it a lot easier? Daiquiris.
That's true. That is good.
So you would borderline kill yourself for a daiquiri at the end of it, right? he's like, look, Tobin, this is Tobin. Hey, we still getting them daiquiris after we done.
Nikola Jovic is dying out here, but at least he gets a pina colada.
Oh, and he just became of age.
Take a break. Hour 2 is next.
It's time for our Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua. It's our Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Tonga Vailoa. Not
Tua Tagovailoa.
A for effort. Dolphins quarterback.
Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua.
Tua.
Tua, Tua, Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Can go to hell. Tua Tagovailoa. Dolphins quarterback.
Daddy loves you guys.
Our Tua with Tobin and Leroy.
Check the history of
Hour 2 of the program, ladies and gentlemen.
or as someone like to call it, hot 2 hour.
Man, there were so many people that wanted him to be traded to the Seahawks just to make that a thing.
You know what's crazy? I was just talking to Zach in the hallway, and we were talking about Tua.
Zach
right?
Rance?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And
What's
he was telling me,
yeah.
he said he had a 25-minute conversation with Dan Orlovsky, who loves Tua.
Oh, yeah.
And
stepping out of the end zone.
And I try to explain to him. I said, I explain to people, do you understand what separates Tua from all the other quarterbacks?
Being adorable.
Is one, he gets rid of the ball quick. 2, he's very accurate. And 3, he throws the ball where only a handful of quarterbacks have had success. And that is the middle of the football field. And if you guys think anybody can do that, you're crazy.
Do you know that a list came out of the most overrated quarterbacks in the league?
And, he's top 5 overrated. I'm more than sure somebody put him on that list.
Oh,
he was number 2.
Right. Who's number 1? Herbert.
No. Josh Allen. According to the players.
Ooh.
And let me tell you why. Right?
Only by 1 vote, though.
And here's what's crazy about that. So they don't think Trevor Lawrence is overrated. They don't think Herbert is underrated, right? They don't think, a lot of these guys are overrated. That being said, they must think it's easy to lead the league in passing.
They must.
Like, even if you base it on numbers, how can he be overrated?
For the record,
he actually produced.
For the record, Herbert and Jacksonville Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence, he was next in the list. The list is they got 103 players to vote. 11 picked Josh Allen. 10 picked Jalen Hurts and Tua Tagovailoa. So each got 10 votes. So they're tied for second. Then Justin Herbert had 9 and Lawrence had 8, followed by Deshaun Watson with 7. And then Kyler Murray and Brock Purdy each got 6.
So let me respond to this. Leroy, no more excuses. 2.3 release and accurate, still at his best. We didn't win the division. We move forward. No more living in the past. I'm like, what does that skill set and his ability have to do with how many games they won? Those abilities are still there.
Right.
Right? So if you and this is where sometimes we get so caught up in this, right? And fans are quick to say, let's just go find another one.
Do you guys think that Tua is more nationally overrated or underrated, though? Because I feel like he gets more.
I think he gets.
I think he gets
no matter what Tua does, they trash him. And
yeah, I feel like he gets disrespected more than he does.
He's not the guy.
I feel like he gets disrespected more than he does overly praised. I'm a little surprised that the players have him that high. Like, I think Justin Herbert definitely gets more flowers than he does, and I think that Trevor Lawrence. I mean, who's ever had a bad take about Trevor Lawrence? He's never dealt with any national criticism.
And this is what I would say. And can I just say this? Players are more inclined to call somebody who they turn on the TV and hear about all the time overrated. So when every conversation on Tua on TV is about Tua, then they just deem that overrated. Why are we talking about him so much? It has nothing to do with his ability. I promise you that. Now, here's what we were talking about yesterday. I don't want to hear jack bleep about 20 of our 53 questionable for week 1. We got what we got.
Yeah, right.
See, I told you.
Are you talking about, is that a comment or you're saying that?
No, that's what Cap for Life is saying.
Oh, I got you.
But that's like, you're not, there's reasons and excuses. A reason is different than an excuse.
No one's giving. First of all, like, I guys, the season hasn't started yet. Like, nobody's making excuses off the bat of the season. We all think that the Dolphins have very high expectations.
Yes.
And trust, if they don't win a playoff game, I think someone is going to pay for that. Like, Stephen Ross put it out there already. Yeah, absolutely. Unless there are catastrophic injuries, Leroy.
There was
like,
last year.
No, I'm saying, like, and that means Uno's out or Tyreek Hill's done for the year. Like,
Tyreek was banged up at the end of last year.
I understand that he was banged up. I'm talking about this year. Okay, nobody got. Here's the thing: nobody organizationally took any heat for that. Everybody got paid this offseason.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody got rewarded this offseason.
Uh-huh.
So the owner has laid out what he expects, and I think they're fair expectations.
He didn't say he expects anything. He said he thinks they're contenders.
You're being a semantic samurai there.
No, I'm not.
You are.
No, I'm not. There's a big difference in saying I think we'll be contenders and saying I expect us to win a playoff.
Do you think if this roster is healthy? Okay, and I'm talking about the stars. I'm talking about the stars of the team. Do you think Stephen Ross expects them to win a playoff game?
Yes.
At least.
Yes, but he didn't say that.
Okay.
No, but you're asking me to comment on what he said. No, I'm commenting on what he said. Is that not what he said? What did he say?
He said it in a nice way.
No, what did he say? Not what you think he meant. What
he
did
said,
he
if
say?
healthy, we should contend for the Super Bowl.
Okay. That's not any saying we expect to win a playoff game. We expect to win 2. He did not say that.
He didn't say.
You're saying what you think he meant.
He didn't say the quiet part out loud, but he said it.
I'm commenting on what he said.
Okay, dude. But what? Okay. So what do you think that means? Like, it's the nice way of saying, do it or else.
Again, you're taking comments. I love when you do this. This is what he meant.
Okay, dude.
I'm taking the comments based on what he said.
We're quibbling. I mean, this is ridiculous.
It's not quibbling.
If your owner tells you I expect them to be Super Bowl contenders if healthy, how is you don't think that's also coming with the baggage of you better win a playoff game?
You're assuming what he meant. I'm not.
How do you contend for a Super Bowl, though? You got to win a playoff game.
Right.
Sure.
So if I expect to contend for the Super Bowl, not win the Super Bowl, not even make the Super Bowl, contend, I got to win one playoff game.
Ryan Tompkins says Tua is actually underrated. If the national perception is he's 12 to 15, he's in reality a top 8. Wow, what a fair comment.
Wow, that was really nice. Get out of here!
Get out of here, Ryan Tompkins, with your reasonability.
Get out of here!
Hey, Dade South, there you go. Y'all quibble on whether you're quibbling or not.
You are quibbling.
I'm not.
You are.
I take people for what they say, not what I think they meant.
Nobody takes things for what they say less than you. You're the guy who always says when somebody says something, you're like, what? You yesterday, you hosed down Mario Cristobal for what he said.
What?
Yeah,
because he came up with some almost cussed. He came up with some reason as to why it wasn't his fault that they ran the ball with his main guy yelling, "Take a knee." I don't have to read into that. We know whose fault it was. All that stuff falls on the head coach. Is that not accurate?
It does.
Okay. And then he talks about the process that we ignored. No, not we, you. Because, again, all that falls to the head coach. Is that accurate?
It's accurate.
That's it. Yeah.
Headlines.
Hey, my eye hurt from trying to wink.
Did you like the editing of?
We got to interview Ratatouille every time we have a press conference with the head coach of the
He's coming from the head.
Right. Ratatouille. Wee. No.
Headlines are brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
Speaking of rats, typical rat
behavior.
Typical rat behavior. Mike White signs with the Buffalo Bills.
Whoa.
Hey.
Do you wish
Typical.
Isn't he from New York?
No, he's from Pepper Pines.
Yeah, wait, who was the quarterback the Jets had? He was from New York.
Oh, you're thinking of the Giants. Tommy DeVito.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Okay, my bad. All
Tommy
right.
Cutlets. He's a South Florida kid.
Okay. Yeah, that's okay. Wow.
Do you wish him success finally?
I never did, never will.
Wait,
Wow.
wait.
Still?
Wait. He's on the other team, right?
Mhm.
So if their quarterback gets hurt, then you wish him success because that means Josh Allen's not playing.
No, I still wish him to fail when he gets out there.
Okay. All right. So now Skyler though is you're pointing not your hates necessarily, but your wish of non-success is now transferred over to Skyler.
I would agree with that. I wish Skylar Thompson no success.
Jeez,
Oh, that just sounds wrong in all the different ways of a fan, right?
Okay, but it's like Stephen Ross. Like I'm saying something, but when you really think about it, I'm not saying, what you think I'm saying. I'm not saying that I wish him bad success. I'm saying I wish him no success because I wish him not to be on the field.
It's a bad success.
I want to punch you in the face. Like to have to explain, like, do you
take a break? Back up to this.
This hour of Tobin and Leroy is sponsored by Kendall Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, home of the 21,000.
Welcome back, you rascals. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Hey, you guys want to go to Stars and Strings? Stars and Strings is coming to Hard Rock Live November 14th. And we got your chance to win tickets to see Jordan Davis, Riley Green, Parker McCullum, and more. If you guys want to enter the contest to win those tickets, text the word acoustic. 20357.
Spell it.
I will spell acoustic. That's a tough one. Could trip some people up. ACOUSTIC.
Yep.
ACOUSTIC. Acoustic.
Acoustic, yes.
Well, I mean, because Enjoy kicked your ass, so
Please stop. No, him -1.
Why? It is. You guys
It's not acoustic.
-1.
Dude,
Don't play pool with it.
Dude, I am gonna come in there as a musician.
Yeah.
You saying that is embarrassing.
Acoustic. Idiot.
I mean, you guys are wrong. All right.
What do you mean we're wrong?
No, that's fine. Look, I'm not gonna argue with you about the correct pronunciation of acoustic.
I wish you know success.
That's good.
That shouldn't be too hard.
Seems like you've already been wishing it, dude.
Yesterday was a Goosey's moment for the Marlins, even though they stink. Goosies are still available because Mr. Marlin, Jeff Conine, he got to watch his son's first major league start last night against the Colorado Rockies.
Yeah, because what the hell were we doing? Before
they won.
Nah, I know, but previously he wasn't starting. Like, what do we need in this season?
He was only up for a game.
I know, but I need all the nostalgia I can possibly do it.
You want to go like full Blue Jays, just like play with nothing but give me Miguel Cabrera's kid, give me Mike Lowell's kid, give me all the former Marlins. We need to bring them up.
Bring them up, baby.
What do we got? But Griffin Conine got his first major league hit yesterday, Leroy.
Yeah.
Got his first major league hit, a triple.
Whoa!
A triple for Griffin Conine yesterday. This is the way it sounded on the Marlins radio broadcast yesterday.
1-2.
Swinging a drive hit high and deep. Right center field. You gotta be kidding me. This is off the top of the wall. Conine's got a double. Rounding second. Headed towards third. He's got a triple. It's the first big league hit for Griffin Conine. He thought Kelly, he hit it out. He had his arms raised when he left the plate. It hit the high wall in deep right center field. But in front of his family and friends, Griffin Conine's got his first major leag hit.
There you go. Kyle Seeloff on Marlins radio yesterday with the call. It looked like he got all of it. It did. Hits the top of the wall, and you could hear even Seeloff thought it was gone because he's like, you got to be kidding. Like, you thought his first major league hit was going to be a home run, which would have been super Goosies.
I thought
yeah.
A triple's probably even more rare. I think.
Yeah.
It's
he's not considered a burner.
Why is that?
Oh yeah. Why do you think?
Why is that?
Why would you say
Why would
that?
you say that?
Why do you think he's
Why
not a
would you
burner?
say that?
Have you seen the way he's built?
How's he built?
Right. Jose Canseco went 40-40. So did Mike Trout.
So did Shohei.
So did Shohei.
Shohei this week did it on a grand slam.
Wait,
Badass.
you know what's crazy? I saw this. Lebertard said this. Somebody gave him the information.
Cool.
Shohei went 40-40, 25 games less than with 25 games left to go in the season, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's Barry Bonds' 11th best season.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Did I see this weekend that Barry Bonds just got into the Pittsburgh Pirates Hall of Fame? What took him so long?
Yeah, he was totally clean with the Pirates.
That's a point.
I don't know, Leroy. I think you're wrong about the build. I think you may be mistaking Griffin for someone else because I'm looking at this picture here. He kind of looks a little Ethan Bonner-ish. I'm not gonna lie to you. Slim. Although I do see that this is coming from an article where he was suspected of PED use, but that's neither here nor there.
Was he suspected of PED use?
This is back from PED suspension. Blue Jays prospect Griffin Conine flashes power.
Minor league doesn't count. Come on, baby.
Come on.
Sweetener.
Have a little fun, baby.
What's the fun amongst the Pensacola Wahoos?
Yeah, exactly. I'm supposed to watch this.
I thought he was with the Jumbo Shrimp.
He was with the Jumbo Shrimp. He was with the Wahoos last year.
Okay.
No, I think when he was on the Wahoos, I think he hit like 40 bombs that year.
Oh, that's why. That's why.
Here was Griffin Conine. He was talking to Craig Minervini, who, of course, now has talked to multiple generations of Conines. Wow. And this was his post-game interview after he was 2-for-3. It was an exciting Marlins game yesterday. Objectively, they stink. But they were down, what were they down? 9, was it? It was 8-6 yesterday. And Jesus Sanchez hit a 3-run homer in the 9th.
Wow.
So, very exciting comeback for the Fish. Griffin Conine 2-for-3 with a double and a triple. And Griffin afterwards talked about his major league debut.
Griff, how did last night help you tonight? You got your debut out of the way last night. What was the feeling, or was it different than last night?
Yeah, it was definitely good to just have a full day, a full routine, prepare for the pitcher. I faced Quantrill last year, so knew what he was coming with. That was a load off my shoulders as far as pressure and Kinley as well. You know, I knew what Kinley had going in. Obviously thought about that at bat a lot last night and was kicking myself, gave myself some grace because a lot of nerves and I was in swing mode, but I knew I had to see that slider up and he gave me a good one to hit.
You get the walk first time up. That had to help too because you got a good at bat. You get on base next time up, you hit it. It's going out of 6 parks, by the way. It didn't make it out of this one.
Yeah, exactly. I saw everything he was going to feature, a lot of splitters, so I kind of was looking for that. Throughout the whole at-bat, next one after that.
What about that next one? That triple. By the way, I hate to break this on you. What went out of, you want to guess how many? 29 parks.
No
This
way.
is the only one. But that's okay.
That's all right.
How great did that triple feel?
It felt unbelievable. It was a roller coaster of, wow, he's not going to catch it. This is a hit. And then, oh, my God, this might be a homer. And then, it's not. I got to get on my horse and get the third.
And then you go left center for the double. But it's not just a double. It's a double in a huge comeback win for your team.
Yeah, that was just my job. Get on base any way I could and let the boys do their jobs too.
I got to ask you about the outfield assist. How good did that one feel defensively? And did that even get the offense motivated too for you?
Yeah, I mean, I love throwing from the outfield. Always have. That one kind of checked up and right to my chest, and that's kind of what we dream of as outfielders. Easy transfer and threw it on the line.
Were you worried they were going to challenge?
I thought they were. I thought Tovar made a really good slide, and luckily Sanchez slapped the tag on him.
All right, great going. Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, real piss whistle yesterday from Conine.
Oh, wow.
Kid's got a chooch.
Hold on. No one, that's not a thing. That's not a thing.
What do you mean?
No one says that, dude.
A chooch?
I heard a piss whistle. Chooch. How do you spell it? Huh? Chooch, baseball term. That's not a thing. Dude.
It's a thing, dude.
Okay, so as of right now, I don't think it's a thing.
It's a thing, dude.
No, dude. I'm gonna get back to that. But here's one of my problems with baseball. A lot of problems with baseball. Why the hell, every touchdown is X amount of yards.
Yep.
Every basketball hoop, same distance. Every goal, same distance. Is this the only sport that in this park, home run? In the other park, not a home. What the hell? What do you mean, dude? Is there not one length?
Golf.
Okay, but that's still like every course is different. But are you kidding me?
Literally every hole is different.
Literally the same exact thing.
I know, but golf is an individual sport, and it's not a real sport. But the major sports, hockey, basketball, soccer, football, everything.
Not only are they not the same distance, Marcos, but you get to add obstacles. Like at one point in Houston, there was a hill.
What are we
Oh,
doing?
yeah. Remember, the guy trying to catch a ball, and then his knees went up in his chest.
There was a hill, and then at one point, there was also a flagpole in the middle of that hill that you had to avoid.
Right.
What?
In Chicago, there's brick and shrub that you have to watch out for. In Boston, they have a giant ass wall just for obstacles.
I've seen what they do in the Miami Heat arena when we took that tour to the opposing locker rooms. I know teams play mental games with every aspect of it. But what the hell are we doing here? If it's a home run in 29 other parks, we need it to be a home run in this park as well. That's ridiculous to me. That's absolutely ridiculous. You know what we'll do, guys?
Bless
We'll
you.
put Yao Ming in the back. And, if he swats it, he swats it. Like, what?
Well, congratulations. Congratulations to Griffin Conine and
Yep.
to the Conine
Had
family.
himself a day.
Looked like Niner was on the verge of tears in the stands, seeing his boy get his first hit. And sorry, Frog Boy brought up the nefarious thing that happened in 2018 on a single A Blue Jays team. You're a real bastard.
Oh wait, allegedly.
You ruined it.
He's really fit. Someone's got to wonder. I don't understand the home run thing, but I do have another thing that I'm also questioning. He walked, he had a double, he had a triple. Had he had another at bat and hit a home run, is that a cycle?
No.
Or he has to hit the single?
You have to get the single.
Baseball. Sick of this stupid game.
We'll take a break. Mix things up coming up next. Welcome back, you rascals. Tobin and Leroy here with you. I've been handed an urgent and important message from Galen. Hey, Galen, you sending us to the Bahamas?
Still working on it.
All right.
Hey, I just talked to him.
What'd he say?
No chance.
Why not?
Why not? It still got some other things that need to be taken care of before we go to Bahamas.
Okay.
Come on. Send us to the Bahamas, which I don't think the Heat should go to, by the way. Totally don't deserve it.
If we can't go, nobody should go.
Yeah, if we can't go to the Bahamas, Pella Larson doesn't get to go to the Bahamas. Poor Pella. Anyway, join the WQAM on-air staff at Smoke on the Water in Weston for Whiskey, Stars, and Cigars on September 28th. That's a Wednesday. Presented by Edmore Sawgrass Auto Mall. Enjoy a fine whiskey, a good cigar, and Dolphins, Canes, and Heat and Panthers conversation with the WQAM staff. It's free to attend. Just RSVP at WQAM.com, which will get you an invite and a complimentary cigar. You must be 21 or over. Drink responsibly. Talk sports with the WQAM on-air staff at Whiskey, Stars, and Cigars. Wednesday, September 25th at Smoke on the Water in Weston. It's presented by Edmore Sawgrass Auto Mall and sponsored by the injury law firm of Judah and Cohen. Let's mix it on up, Frog Boy.
All righty then.
I mean, like, what are we doing here, right? Like, Chris Quinn gets to go to the Bahamas and we don't get to go to the Bahamas?
All right. You don't think Quinny deserves a little Bahamas trip?
He deserves it because he got podcasters getting head coaching jobs instead of Chris Quinn. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. You know who should go? Actually, you were mad about Pella Larson and Khalil Ware going over there, but I really think since, Summer League champions,
a little sweetener. You think that set it over the edge?
Yeah, but Jimmy Butler, Homestead for you, buddy.
Jimmy Butler's probably going to have his own.
So hey, I'm telling you, hey, can I just say this? You are not Pat Riley.
Man,
be careful.
Well, here's the thing.
Oh,
if
I sound like him when I do my impression.
The thing is, the Heat are going to go stay at a resort, and then Jimmy Butler's going to have his own private mansion on the Bahamas that he Airbnb.
Oh, yep.
Like, that's what's going to happen.
Absolutely.
All right. What do we got in the mixed bag today, Marcos? Brought to you by Brown Health. Well into your future.
I'm going to start things off with Mr. Jeff Darlington.
Oh.
Guys familiar with that? Mr. Jeff Darlington, fellow NFL insider,
Fellow to you.
Yeah, to me only. Yes.
Understood.
Yes. You guys will reach that status.
I do like Jeff Darlington, reporter, South Florida reporter, gone national. ESPN does a good job. What did he have to say?
Sick of the Jets, dude.
Wow. What is going on with you Jets people? Between Bart, I mean, I don't think this is a very good career decision or actually health decision to go against Bart Scott ever. But like between hearing Bart and Damian and now you talk about how nobody's respecting the Jets.
We sick of it. We're tired of seeing Peyton Manning tease us at the Country Grammy Awards.
Go ahead, Jeff. Bart, they're fine. Everybody, we're just tired of it. We did the whole thing last offseason where we anointed the Jets and said they were going to win the Super Bowl. And then 4 plays into the season, he went down. We just want to see it. We don't want to hear you Jets people continue to talk about it. We just want to see them do something. We're tired of it. Bart and Damian and Greeny.
Nick, jump in.
Wow. Hey.
Oh.
Wow. Darlington.
Wait.
Darlington.
Hey, I've been saying something very simple. Yeah. You guys say it means I hate Aaron Rodgers. Why doesn't he think? Why you don't think that of him?
Well, no, I don't care what he said about Aaron Rodgers. He just told Greeny to shut the hell up.
Oh, Greeny, Bart, everyone, enough of it.
Shut up.
It's true, though. It's true. Someone had to say it. Jeff, good guy.
But it is true. Like, here, let's think of this. Name another team that has not made the playoffs in the last 7 or 8 years that has gotten more praise than the New York Jets?
Hmm.
Here. Can't think of one.
I'm going to put something out there. I'm going to tell you if you agree or not. Ask me if you agree.
Yep.
The Chicago Bears will make the playoffs before the Jets.
Oh.
This year, you think they're going to make the playoffs?
That's not what I said. You don't listen.
Whoa. I disagree with that personally.
Okay.
I don't think either of them make the playoffs this year.
Okay.
But
Chicago's in the NFC.
Yeah, I can't name 4 Chicago Bears.
Yes, you can. Caleb Williams.
That's
Correct.
one.
And the wide receiver. Who's the wide receiver? He was the
DJ Moore.
DJ Moore.
Good. Yeah.
Name another one.
That's where it stops for me.
Hey man, you said I can't name one player. I named 2, and you said name
I said
more.
I can't name 4. I can't. Name
You got Mr. Simone Biles.
Oh yeah, what's his name? What
Exactly.
He plays safety.
Yeah,
he's Simone Biles' husband.
Matt Forte, is he there?
Nope.
Jeez.
You got Roma Dunze.
The fridge. I heard about him.
And then Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen's a Bear.
For me, without naming Aaron Rodgers, I can name Breece Hall, Sauce Gardner. Is it Garrett Wilson? Right, that's the wide receiver.
Who's the D lineman? Richardson? Is it Richardson?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Quentin Williamson.
Williamson.
He's the one who blessed himself, right? Who sneezed and said "bless you" and "thank you." I think that was him.
So anyway,
still not as much of a man as Zach Sewell,
is it
though.
wait? When we talk about overrated quarterbacks,
yep.
Let's do overrated teams. I think the Dolphins are underrated because they just think that the Dolphins are never going to do it.
Well, they are currently 3rd in the odds, so you can't really say that they're overrated by Vegas.
No, but that's Vegas. That's different.
Vegas knows
Vegas is different. Vegas just wants action, right? So stop. Let's not.
Yeah, but it's still a reflection of what they think is going to happen.
Vegas is picking 3rd best chance to win the title.
No, 3rd best chance to win the division.
Okay, yeah, that's about what everybody's saying.
They go Bills, Jets. Is it Bills, Jets, Dolphins? It's Bills, Jets, Dolphins.
That's betting purposes.
But Bills, Jets are pretty even on the odds.
That's betting purposes.
That's gross.
Tom Brady ruined it for everybody.
Tom Brady.
I just want y'all to know.
Why?
Because now we think a 40-year-old quarterback off Achilles could just sling it. And if you're saying, hey, they didn't have any quarterback play and look at where they got, then I give you the Cleveland Browns, who had 5 quarterbacks last year and still made the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So who's closer to winning a championship? The Cleveland Browns with Deshaun Watson or the Jets with Aaron Rodgers when they couldn't do nothing without Aaron Rodgers?
I'm still picking Aaron Rodgers.
Okay. Oh, would you like to want a little chili pepper on it?
Definitely don't care enough about the Jets to bet on it. And nor do I ever want to have any action on Jets success because I wish them no success. So I'm not going to bet that. I'm just giving you my opinion.
Okay, so you think the Jets will do better than the Browns?
No, you asked me who do I think has a better chance of winning the Super Bowl, and I would pick the Jets over the Browns.
Because of 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers.
Because of Deshaun Watson, who hasn't been relevant in half a decade.
Yeah, I know.
True.
But that team has won without Deshaun Watson.
Okay, and then what happened when they got to the playoff game, dude? They got obliterated.
Okay.
I'm talking about actually winning in the playoffs.
Yeah, well, who's the last time the Jets got to the playoffs?
That's
right.
Since what, 2012? It's been a while.
Yeah, you got to make 2 assumptions.
Those aren't the same thing, though, Leroy. I mean, you're making 2 different arguments.
No, you wait.
I'll ask you a question right now. All right.
Yeah. All right.
And be honest. Please. Be honest.
Okay.
All right.
Be honest. Be honest, Porsche. Be honest.
I'm telling you, if you ask me a stupid question,
it's not a stupid question. I'm going to ask you a question right now. Okay.
Go.
Me too.
Go.
I can make a trade today for this season. Okay. Not for the future.
Yep.
This season.
Yep.
Magic.
I
can make Aaron Rodgers the Browns quarterback and trade him for Deshaun Watson to the Jets. Would you do it?
Just this season?
Yes.
Okay.
Only because here's why, though.
He was honest.
Here's why.
Honest.
He wasn't.
Because I have no idea what Deshaun Watson's going to look like.
I know.
I have Even though I'm scared as hell with a 40-year-old quarterback coming back from an Achilles, at least I know he's going to do something, right? I don't know how bad it's going to look or how good he's going to, but I know he can throw the football. That being said, whoever the quarterback is for the Browns, I think the Browns would be better off than the Jets. So I would pick the quarterback for the Browns.
Date South says, what a sad genie. I am the genie of the bums. You can only make one trade and one trade alone. Swap this old broken quarterback for this washed creepy one.
Hey, that sounds like when I had a choice between Edwin Edwards and David Dukes for governor of Louisiana.
Oh no.
Yes.
What else you got in the mixed bag, Marcos?
All right, continuing on in the mixed bag, we're gonna switch gears to basketball. LeBron James recently on his podcast series, The Shop.
The Shop.
He revealed some information on whether or not Bronny is allowed to call him.
This was funny.
This is what LeBron James had to say about his son, an NBA superstar. Bronny James.
You thought through, not relationship, because you always be his dad, he'll always be his son, but what's your working relationship? Is he going to call you dad at practice in the locker room?
No, we already laid that. No, he can't. We already laid that down. He cannot call me dad in the workplace. All right. Once we leave out of the private facility and the gates close, I could be dad again. In the car, if we ride together. At home, I could be dad. No, he got to call me like 2-3 or Bron.
Okay.
Or, GOAT if he wants to. That's up to him. I mean, it's up to him. But it's easy for me. It's easy for me because I've been calling him Bronny for so long. Yeah. It's not like I've been calling, hey son. So it's easy for me. It's gonna be the adjustment for him. But we cannot be running down the court and he'd be like, Dad, push the ball up, Dad, I'm open, Dad, come on. I'm like, no, you cannot do that.
Man,
that would be rather awkward, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because there's only one person.
Could you imagine the other team?
Mm-hmm.
You got your son out here.
Man,
that's crazy in itself. But I mean, you know what? I wonder if they asked that to Ken Griffey. They played on the same outfield.
Yeah, I wonder. I got it, Dad. I got it. Call. Besides, there's only one person on the Lakers who calls LeBron Dad, and that's JJ Redick.
Okay. Can't talk with the Lakers without Tobin. Just throwing one in there towards JJ Redick. It's enough of him already.
It is enough of him already.
I haven't heard much from him, actually.
Oh, trust me, you will. Oh, dude, you're going to get so much JJ Redick. You're not going to know what to do with yourself this year.
Makes sense.
JJ Redick. What else you got in the mixed bag, Marcos?
We're going to stick in the basketball side of things. This is more from the OGs podcast with Udonis Haslam and Mike Miller. Hassan Whiteside was a guest recently.
Are we really doing this?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Tobin, I blame you for this nonsense.
That's fair.
Fair. I'll take it.
Hassan reveals he was willing to take less had the Heat acquired KD.
You thought through, not relationship, because you always be his dad, he'll always be his son.
Sorry, wrong one.
I said if KD come, I take less money.
Yeah.
It was more so about winning. We would have Goran, D Wade, Kevin Durant, Chris Bosh, and then me at the 5. It was I'm here for it.
That'd have been.
I mean, I was hoping for that to work out the way it did, but that was also heels of Bron just leaving, and I just didn't know if KD wanted to deal with that because everything he did was going to be compared to what Bron did while he was in Miami.
Sure.
They weren't going to let him live. You know what I'm saying? That just would have been a frustrating situation for KD. So I was happy he took the meeting. I was hoping it was going to work out, but in the long run, I really didn't think that was going to be the time that he came to Miami. He was going to be ridiculed and compared to Bron about everything. Yeah. 4 straight finals, 2 rings, like everything he did, they was going to bring up Bron's name.
It's tough.
And that would have been frustrating for KD.
I mean, he still dealt with that at the Warriors for sure.
Hold up. You're concentrating on the wrong crap.
Soft.
The thing here's where I mean I'll let you say what you're gonna say, but Hassan is definitely massaging facts there.
Let me explain something to you. Hassan saying he would have taken less money. They would have given you $0 to come back, Hassan. $0. They did not want you. They were tired of you. They had enough of you. And you all of a sudden say, oh, yeah, the pay was right. I would have came back.
No. You're thinking of the wrong. You're mixing up summers. You're mixing up summers. The summer he's talking about is the summer he got the $100 million was the same summer that Kevin Durant went to the Warriors. That's what he's talking about.
All right.
But the big thing, and son Steve is pointing this out. Hassan's acting like he didn't take Dwayne Wade's money. Like that was the summer where you also lost Dwayne Wade because we were sitting here and getting into petty squabbles on Snapchat over D Wade and not paying D Wade in the fold. Like the Miami Heat didn't even know they're getting D Wade back. And yes, they got a meeting with Kevin Durant, but I bet you the Miami Heat feel like their number one player recruiter of all time would have been nice to have him happy in the fold to be in that Kevin Durant meeting, as aside from the guy talking to koi fish.
You keep D Wade for the chance to get KD. Right?
Yeah.
You got, and he's your. The thing is that there's certain teams that treat their all-timers. They'll give them that one contract where they know they're not going to get the value out of it. The Heat have not done that ever.
The Heat also, they wouldn't have had Chris Bosh because Chris Bosh was they ended up like putting the ending to his career that summer too. Like his season ended that year. Then going into that year, Chris Bosh ended up getting he wouldn't get cleared for camp, and then by the end of the year is when they officially got to release him. But that also was in the full. So massaging of the facts, but he didn't take less money. He took all the money, and good for him.
Have you watched any of these kickoffs? Nobody's getting the ball past the 25-yard line.
Except Malik Washington.
Yeah, but I was disappointed. Not one touchdown the entire preseason? That doesn't bode well.
It's a little more. I like it. It's not a useless play like it used to be. Anyway, way over. Apologize. Obliterated the clock. But maybe I won't, Galette, if you send me to the Bahamas.
Bahamas!
Join Hawk and Crowder weekday afternoons at 2 for some of South Florida's best football coverage. And some Solana and some Jimmy.
welcome back. Tobin and Leroy. Let's get the headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy a truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
Trucks.
All right. Dolphins, they set their 53-man roster. Some reports in the past hour over the practice squad. It sounds like, according to Barry Jackson, that Nick Needham plans to sign with the Dolphins practice squad. So it seems like he is not going anywhere. The Dolphins veteran DB. Hayden Rucci. Intangibles.
Hayden. Wow.
Also heading for the practice squad. According to Joe Shad, Dolphins
Isn't
also
that a last name?
Yes.
Joe Hayden. He was
Joe
a
Hayden,
DB for the Browns.
Not a
Yes, he was. Yes, he
Yeah.
was. Joe Shad says Dolphins are planning to have Erik Ezukanma start the season on the practice squad unless he gets poached.
I heard this morning they said that Ezukanma might play the first week.
Maybe. There was definitely some like roster finagling going on. Like they cut their long snapper, right? That was like one that like kind of surprised everybody. Like, you cut the long snapper?
Yeah.
But that apparently seems like that's just some roster jujitsu that's going on there.
I told you there's a lot of that going on.
Yeah.
Wait,
so
why? Is he gonna come back somehow?
So Ricardo,
Yeah, they're
Nick
just
Needham
re-sign him.
to head to the practice squad. No, he got cut so they could cut some of his contract. Yeah, dude. Like that's the other thing that people don't realize.
You know, they're going out there and they're doing some different moves here, little moves over there, and you know, but yeah, the only thing, because I definitely was with Marcos though, because like Marcos and we were texting about this yesterday, and I'm thinking to myself like, wait, do the Dolphins have like a secret long snapper we don't know about? Like they brought this this undrafted center made the team. I was like, well, he played at UTEP. Maybe they didn't have a long snapper at UTEP. Maybe he had to do both. I didn't know. I was theorizing. Leroy, we have some fun, baby.
That was a good move.
I mean, even your thoughts don't make sense.
That doesn't make sense to you?
No.
So what's the jujitsu exactly? I'm trying to find this that they're doing.
So here's what they do, Marco. So
Yeah.
for example, they have every intention on bringing Ezukanma back.
All right.
They can release him and bring him back for the simple reason that he's only had 3 NFL catches.
Yeah.
Who's going to pick him up?
Okay.
Right? So you can kind of finagle your way like that, because keep in mind, you can't just put somebody on the practice squad. They got to clear waivers.
Yeah.
So in order to do that, these guys have to clear waivers. And so the way they do the jiu-jitsu is they're figuring out what guys won't get picked up and what guys would get picked up. And they're doing their 53-man roster based on that. And then bringing the guys on the practice squad, and you still have access to those players, right?
But they can't start it. Like, for example, he's a starting. Ezukanma's like 4 or 5 on the depth chart. This is a starting long snapper. So how do we get him back on the field without?
Because once you do the PUP stuff, the injury reserve stuff, and all that stuff, then you could just bring him back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they'll open up a roster spot essentially. Well, I mean, I guess they could probably put. I don't know if they could like keep elevating him off the practice squad or whatnot.
No, you can. I think you can only do it a certain amount of times.
But the word is everybody seems to think he's going to resign. Like he'll be back. Yeah. It's just in the days they had to get it done, which was by 4 p.m. yesterday, he was not on the roster.
Right.
I thought it was because he started political stuff.
But you should like hold on. I just want to go back to one thing in a second though. You know, it's not very nice. I was just thinking about it. Like, I didn't know at the time they were going to bring back the long snapper, all right? First of all, I didn't know that they were going to bring in a cheaper long snapper. And second of all, what if?
Dude, here, some of these things you got to think. It makes, hold on. Even with.
Well, I did.
Wait, hold on. Even with no football knowledge, right? Is it safe to say you could just conclude, well, that don't make no damn sense. Something's got to be up.
Right. Well, here's what I thought, though. This is what I thought.
There's another long snap. There's a second long snapper?
No.
No. What I thought was, hear me out. I had thought the Dolphins had found a bit of a cheat code at the time because they had this Andrew Meyer, this center that made the team, undrafted free agent, right, from UTEP. And my thought process while I was going through this, I was like, I wonder if at UTEP they didn't have a long snapper and he did both.
Let's also. He plays center, correct?
Yes.
I want you to go through the history of bleeping football.
Right.
When the last time it was 4th down and the center stayed on the field and snapped the ball.
Okay, dude, but this is different times in
Most
sports.
of your long snappers are tight ends or linebackers.
I understand.
They gotta run down the field and make a damn tackle.
I understand. But it's UTEP, all right? And so I thought maybe there was a chance that Andrew Meyer had done, like he was a utility man, right? Because hear me out on this. Like, the sports are changing. We got Shohei Ohtani, he pitches and he hits. We got Victor Wembanyama 7'4". Is it crazy to think we have a 4-down center?
No, it's ridiculous. I'm glad
it's not that ridiculous.
I'm glad your screen went blurry when you start talking that nonsense.
No, I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you. Am I back?
Yeah, you were back.
Okay, so I'm just saying, like, it's not crazy to think at a small school.
Ridiculous.
At a small school?
No, dude.
I'm looking at an article from March 20th of this year.
Yep.
From Ole Miss. It says Ole Miss receives commitment from center/long snapper.
Oh.
Okay. Listen, dum-dum.
That's me.
Nobody goes through life as a long snapper. No. You end up a long snapper.
Right.
Yes. Right.
But
so you're not going to be a starting lineman. Everybody has a position. Whatever position you play, you still are in a meeting for another position, whether it's linebacker, whether it's running. My boy was in the running back room. He ain't playing damn player running back. He was a special teamer.
Cool. But you're telling me
center Mike Morris in Minnesota. I played with him in Cleveland, and he actually played lineman. He became a long snapper, and he was still in the offensive line room.
Yeah, but this guy, maybe for a school that's not that big, had to be resourceful.
Him to be a long snapper.
No, I know they didn't. They signed him.
He's an offensive lineman.
Okay, but hear me out on this, Leroy. If you were an undrafted center, but you also went to the team, and you're like, I'm not gonna long snap. Did it at UTEP.
But he's been playing offensive lineman all camp.
I understand. But like if they could get him.
You need offensive linemen. You could give a rat's ass about a long snapper.
Because listen,
that dude is on the team because he's an offensive lineman.
Okay, but
he made the team as an offensive lineman.
Okay, but Tim Hardaway, he had the UTEP 2-step. Maybe Andrew Meyer has the UTEP 2-snap.
Oh,
2 types of snap.
Oh, look at that.
Long snap, regular snap.
UTEP, dude. Right now, I'm closing my eyes. And I'm picturing me just choking the life out of you for being ridiculous.
I don't think it's that ridiculous. It was just a thought. Nobody else figured out long snapper?
Dude.
It's a possibility.
No, it's not.
It is. Because here's the thing.
Can I just say, collectively, you guys have sat here in this segment and exposed yourselves for knowing very little football.
No.
Versatility.
Think about this.
Line.
Right. If you had a kicker who could also punt, right? Like Matt Bosher back in the day, how much more valuable would it be if he could do both? So if you had a center who could So if you had a center who could actually long snap.
Punting are very, in fact, a lot of punters kick off.
Fine. I'm not debating that, but I'm just saying, think about the value as a lineman or whomever. Make it a backup tight end. Make it Tanner Connor. If they could also snap, doesn't that help?
Wait, do you realize that the long snapper also makes a boatload of tackles?
Okay.
On punt?
Mm-hmm.
It becomes more difficult when he's a fat-ass offensive lineman. I'm just telling you.
But if he was used to it in college, at the time.
Wait, there's certain guys, he looks like a long snapper.
Right.
He's like a tight end or a linebacker because he can snap, run down, and make a tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? If I take a 310-pound offensive lineman and tell him to snap and run down the field, how ridiculous is that going to look?
Whatever, dude. People wrote off Darren Sproles because he was small.
That's right.
That's not fat shaming. Your center weighs 300, 310. That's not fat shaming. Nope. He probably weighs 30 or 40 pounds more than the actual long snapper.
I'm just saying it's got to be thought about in sports. Like we are, think about the Dolphins had to.
No.
Why? If you could keep an extra running back because you have a tight end or a center who can actually long snap. What?
Oh, why not long snap with a running back?
Let's not get silly. Come on. Grow up.
I mean, you're being silly.
I'm not being silly. I just thought maybe at a small school, like you had to be resourceful for long snapping.
Oh,
that's right.
Oh my goodness. What are we doing? Like, do you watch football?
Yeah.
Do you see the body types that are doing these different things?
Mm-hmm.
You know, on punt team, there are no offensive linemen.
Mm-hmm.
You realize that, right?
Yes.
Why is that?
You got to run.
So why are you talking about putting an offensive lineman on that squad?
I don't know how good he is at snapping.
Oh.
Yeah. What's his 40?
He was on the Remington watch list.
Lunchtime.
Look at that.
That's what his 40 is.
Lunchtime.
Are you like, do you watch football?
Yeah.
Do you observe and understand?
You don't think that
hold on. When a punt team goes on the field, there are no offensive linemen.
Yeah, you said that already.
Okay.
Right.
So why do you think that? But no, let's think. Why do you think that?
How many tackles did Blake Ferguson have last year, Marcos?
I don't know. That's a good question. I looked it up right now.
Because I want to know. Like, because if you found somebody who could actually snap, provide you something else for 4 tackles a year?
Yeah. Actually, let me tell you his career total tackles. You ready for this one? 7.
7. Come on, Leroy. And I'm the idiot. I think I found a loophole.
Oh my goodness. I don't think you.
No tackles.
7 tackles.
Hold on. You know who the first person down the field is?
67 games.
The long snapper. You know why? Tell me why, smart ass.
Oh, me.
Tell me why the long snapper is the first one down.
He knows when to run. He's got the ball gone.
No.
No one blocks.
That's not why.
Me?
That's not why.
Talking to me
Why?
this time?
Because the other guys on the line can't leave until the ball's punted.
Oh.
Yeah, so I just said. He's got the head start. He knows when to go.
Ah.
We just said the same thing.
So why would you have a slow guy there?
Because the slow guy, let me tell you something. As a slow guy myself, nobody loves a head start more than a slow guy.
True. By the way, Blake Ferguson 40. He runs a 5.
Schmieden makes a good point. How are you the first person down the field? You only have 7 tackles. Was that his career, Marcos?
Career.
Career.
I don't think he recorded a tackle last year.
A 4-year career, the long snapper has 7 tackles.
60.
And you're sitting here and you're yelling at me about, he has to lower the tackle, Tobin.
Because most of the tackles go to the 2 gunners.
Mm-hmm.
But if by some chance they miss, you need that guy up front.
Okay, well, I'm not making my fictional hyper snapper here. I'm not making him a gunner.
You're making him even. I can't believe I'm having this argument.
I can't believe this.
Get into ever.
How am I an idiot for saying we have an inefficient position here in football? We have to snip this roster down to 53. It's an inefficient position. Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Wait, you wanted to vote one for president a couple of years ago.
John Denny?
Yes.
Oh, I love him.
John. Oh, come on. John Denny.
There's a difference though. They don't make John Denny's anymore. I'll
take that guy.
John Denny was a moose. They don't make him like John Denny anymore.
Yeah.
One of the greats.
You're the worst.
Deserves to be in the Ring of Honor.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
I don't know why I get so frustrated. You just make me so like we watch football together.
I understand, but football changes
all the time.
Football
this
changes.
is a bad reflection on me.
It's not a bad reflection on you.
Hey man, you win him every day. You can't teach him. I'm like, no, he won't listen.
Okay, but you would admit, I mean, sometimes football guys, you're kind of stuck in your ways. I mean, like, no offense.
Not.
You're kind of stuck in your
Not
ways.
at all. Not at what? Listen.
Yeah, of course you wouldn't admit that.
Most of the stuff I'm telling you about is not opinion.
Uh-huh.
Those are facts.
I would like somebody to ask Mike McDaniel, do you feel the long snapper's inefficient use of a roster spot?
Can I tell you that the 40 time of this center, Andrew Meyer, is comparable. It is damn near the same as Blake Ferguson's 40.
Do you understand that
only 295?
Is it Myers with an S or Meyer?
I think it's Andrew Meyer. Yeah, Meyer.
Meyer.
One Meyer.
Okay.
One Meyer. What?
Let me explain something to you.
Yes.
You do realize that you have a deficiency at offensive lineman. You need backups on offensive lineman.
He can do both.
Right.
I'm not. No.
We don't know.
No.
He can do both.
Because in 2 weeks, when the bum to the left of us starts talking about how bad Eichenberg is, right?
Yeah.
The last thing you want to hear is, let's use our long snapper.
Well, he'd be both, though. He'd be our backup center.
You can't.
For sure. Both.
Theoretically, in my fictional position. That's not going to happen. I realize the other guy's coming back, but I just think like
That's
it
what
just
it
feels
is.
like we're doing it wrong. You
It's
know?
lunchtime. Leroy's more interested in Oscar Mayer. And Leroy Tobin is a bucking show pony. You can't get in line.
I don't understand why this is such a stupid idea.
It is so stupid.
So stupid, though.
Mark, Leroy, you were a man who did anything for your football team. You were a fullback and a running back. You did it all. It's crazy to think about some fourth string tight end also being able to long snap.
But they're usually tight ends or
No. I understand what they usually were, but then when they're long snappers, they're long snappers. I'm saying have a guy who does
a guy who's not on the team for anything other than playing offensive lineman.
Right. Well, this guy, make it him or make it Tanner Connor, whomever.
But Tanner Connor's a tight end.
But we don't know if he can long snap.
We don't know.
That's more. If you were to tell me that, it would be more believable.
So you like the idea?
No, I don't like the idea of an offensive lineman doing it. I told you when we started, it's usually a linebacker or a tight end.
So just so
they can get down the field.
So just so we're clear,
Tanner Connor could do it. I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with offensive linemen doing it. That's
So you
what I'm telling you. That's what I've said since the beginning.
So you like my
know
idea.
this.
So you like my idea.
Wow.
You not having a backup center do it. No.
No, the bigger idea is no more pure long snappers. Wasted position.
They don't start off that way, though. They probably came in as a
The
tight end.
point, Leroy. What they've done now is they've taken over this position of, you guys need me. I need to snap long. We need to find somebody who can do both.
Wait, when it comes to a point, if say somebody like Tanner Connor is they really want him on the roster, I think they have Tanner Connor because he can play tight end.
Right.
Okay. So that makes it a little unique. But I do believe if it got to the point where they're paying a lot of money and they go, hey, Tanner, hey, can you do this? Because this is, we want to keep you, but we want you to be able to do both. Right. Okay.
All right. You like my idea then?
The whole argument in this was the fact that you were trying to do this with a center.
Oh, that was the whole argument. That was the whole argument. The basis of my argument was
that was the basis for the argument.
Dude, I swear to God, like I love you to death. I love you, but you are a child because you can't keep up. You can't keep up. The whole basis of my argument was to have a utility man who could do multiple positions, including long snap. Make it the center, make it the tight end. That was the bigger point of my argument.
I said in the beginning of this, it's normally a linebacker or a tight end. We started the conversation with that, not a lineman. Ridiculous. And we started off by saying, how many linemen are on that front line? None. So why would you do it with an offensive lineman? We had this whole conversation.
No.
What are you talking about?
You dismissed my idea of having somebody do both.
Offensive lineman.
Anybody. I said anybody.
Offensive lineman.
You're quibbling.
Meyer. We got caught on Meyer.
You're boxed in, dude. You're boxed in. You like my idea. You like my idea.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Marcos.
Yeah.
Go listen to that in the beginning. It was all about Meyer. It wasn't about.
Oh my God. You are ridiculous. You don't listen. You are not a listener.
You were talking about two-step.
UTEP two-snap.
Two-snap.
That was good.
UTEP two-snap is good. That's good.
Yeah, UTEP two-snap. That means we were talking about Meyer.
He was my initial idea, but I said you can make it anybody. My whole point of my argument was having somebody else on the roster long snap.
Marcos, as soon as we go to break, we're going to listen to this. And then when we come back, I want you to tell the truth. I'm not going to say nothing.
You don't need to run it back. I have the memory of 10 minutes ago. I know what my argument was. The whole point of my argument was having somebody on the 53-man roster who can also long snap. That was the whole point.
And I said not an offensive lineman. That's
dude. If you would have come back with my argument and you would have said, what about a tight end? I would have stopped the debate. But you also said, nah, can't do it. Nah.
No, you can.
Oh, no. You were so busy on squashing my dreams. You hated all of it. You're a bastard. And also, you don't listen. That's it.
Okay.
I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
And when we replay it, I don't want you to try to do your little finagle.
If you would have come back, if you literally would have come back, hold on. If you would have come back and said, "What about Tanner Connor?" Would have been my counterpoint would have been,
"Why did you?"
Love it. I did.
No,
I literally did.
Later on,
I said, "Make it Tanner Connor." Words came out of my mouth.
The original argument was about Meyer doing it.
Oh my God,
it was.
No, the bigger point of the argument was having somebody else do it.
Here, dum-dum.
Don't call me dum-dum.
There's evidence. We'll go listen to it.
Yeah, you go ahead. You go ahead. You're going to embarrass yourself.
You apologize to me.
I'm not going to apologize to you.
Yes, you are.
The whole point of my argument was to have somebody else do it on 53.
You're going to apologize to me.
No, I'm not going to apologize. We got rats off a ship next.
Okay. This is your theme music show, Pony.
Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you.
By the way, before we get to Rats authorship, 17 minutes before you even hinted it could be a tight end or a linebacker.
Okay. You are the worst because obviously I know Tanner Connor can't long snap. Otherwise, he would have shown that already. The reason the whole conversation came up was because the long snapper was off the 53-man roster. One had to wonder, did a new guy show an ability to long snap?
And then you suggested a center, which I said, absolutely not.
Well, we didn't know because I didn't know
No,
if that
I knew.
That's why we call him.
Center was not going to be that
you
guy.
Didn't know. You don't know anything about him.
Yes, I did.
You didn't even know that he went to UTEP.
Yes, I did.
UTEP to snap.
Tobin, Meyer is on the team to play lineman.
Right.
No lineman is going to be a long snapper.
Okay.
I'm telling you. Nothing.
Seems inefficient. You would agree it's an inefficient position to have a 53 spot for.
Again, you're making an argument and I was giving you facts. Okay? And you just kept pushing this Meyer for long snapper.
That's not what I kept pushing. What I said, what my bigger conversation went into, but you're very narrow-minded on this.
Okay, go.
Because you want is
no. Let's hear. What was your
spending a roster spot on a long snapper is kind of stupid if you can
we
find somebody else to do it.
Our argument was about Meyer being the long snapper.
All I said with Meyer was I wondered if he long snapped at UTEP. That's all.
No, you kept, dude. You went 10 minutes on Meyer being the long snapper. I promise you.
You sat here and you're like, oh, you need a long snapper. They're the first guys down there for a guy with 7 career tackles.
I said you need a guy who can move.
You're listen, I'm not gonna rehash what I said because I've said it already, but you're wrong.
Do you remember what you said?
But you're wrong, and it's time for Rats Off a Ship.
Oh my goodness. Marcos,
Rats off a ship.
You actually heard the tape. You understand what happens.
Rats off a ship.
Oh, you're the worst.
He's a show pony, dude.
Yes.
You were talking about this with me yesterday. Nobody was happy that the long snapper was gone than you, Frog Boy.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's Twitter fingers. I mean, he had a beef with Javon Holland. Get out of here, Blake.
Blake Frogginson.
Oh.
UTEP 2-step. I like that. 2-snap.
UTEP 2-snap's good. What do you got today for Rats Off a Ship? Hello, Jennifer.
Hello. Hey, Jennifer, can I ask you a question?
No, Leroy. I don't want to hear. I'm very upset right now. What's that?
12:46. Okay.
You know, you're quibbling with Tobin. I don't need you to quibble with me also.
That was a side note. The main reason, because we enjoy seeing your face, will you give us a signal of where you are in witness protection?
So that's why I'm also very pissed.
The background does seem darker today.
Right. Like,
you have no idea how mad I am right now.
I have your dog.
No, so my laptop decided to just go off around right before noon. And it's making weird noises and everything. I had to go switch computers, sign on to everything. You know how much I can't stand that. And this computer has an issue with lighting. So I apologize for that.
It's just, I mean, it looks more you anyway. It's more goth.
Thank you. That's all I can do.
What do you got for rats?
All right. Well, number one, spoke about it earlier. The Miami Heat going to the Bahamas for training camp.
Rats off a ship. It's ridiculous. I mean, how does this team deserve
the Bahamas?
Yeah, this is ridiculous. You didn't even make the second round last year, and you guys think you deserve the island. First of all, you guys live in Miami. You need more of a vacation spot. What kind of sense does this make? You know, Spo, I don't mean to speak out of turn here, but you're losing your touch. What is this?
I don't mean to speak out of turn while speaking absolutely 100% out of turn.
What is this? A Bahamas training camp? Ridiculous, dude. Leroy, rats off a ship, by the way.
I got that.
Rats off a ship. I don't think you're sending the right message by having him on the beach saying you want more people participating in more games. But let's start this season off by going preparing on the beach.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. I don't like it. J-Fig?
Yeah, I agree with your arguments. I don't like it either. Stay in Florida. You don't deserve it.
You guys need to go to somewhere terrible, like Jacksonville.
Somewhere where you can stay focused. Rats
Marcos?
Also rats off a ship, dude. Homestead.
Homestead is not that bad. I don't know what's wrong with you.
What's a tougher training camp trip for the Heat? Homestead or Jacksonville?
Jacksonville's pretty
I would say Jacksonville, yeah.
It's closer than you think.
Yeah.
What's number 2, J-Fig?
The band Oasis. Apparently they're reuniting after a long brother quibble, which you guys should know very much about.
Yeah, these brothers have hated each other for a long time, and now they're finally, getting together apparently, and
That's
doing
what
a tour.
Need that munion.
That munion, dude, they haven't been together for a long time. They left a lot of munion on the table, though.
Yeah.
I'm not rats off a ship. I mean, I'm happy to see family quibbles come to an end, and then especially if it's in the eye of them making some dollars, like good for Oasis. And I love British bands. Just ask the Struts.
You like British bands, they might not like you back. It's good. I like when quibbles are mended, and especially family, right? They got back together, so I'm glad to see it.
Do you know J-Fig, as our music connoisseur, especially in the rock realm, why do they hate each other? Do you have any idea?
I can't even tell you. I have no idea.
He's an Arsenal fan. I'm a Liverpool fan.
I enjoy their music, but I don't know much about them.
When was the last time they put anything out?
2002?
Let's see.
Wow, 20 years?
Yeah, they were broken up for a while.
This guy said he liked Manchester United and I like Man City.
It's been 15 years.
Long time. Frog Boy?
By the way, I'm not rats off a ship. I actually enjoy their music, so I'm excited to see what's to come.
Rats off a ship. I've gone 20 years without stupid Oasis. Don't need them to come back. Leroy's right. They're broke. So now they're like, oh, you know what? I'm not mad at you anymore. Oh, I guess we can mend fences, love. Now that I think about it, I'm not mad at you anymore.
Did they stop crying their heart out?
Is that one of their songs? Can't name an Oasis song.
Yes, you do. Wonderwall.
Yeah.
Sing that one for me.
And after
ask Leroy to do that for you.
You're my Wonderwall fish and chips.
I wonder where the hell they've been for 20 years. My life is so much better without them in it now.
Well, I'm sorry. Whatever you say, Crocasis.
Crocasis. Okay, no, that's good. That's good.
What's number 3, J-Fig?
Well, you wish this man no
Okay,
success.
I know who it is.
Mike White.
Mike White.
Hey, I even have I have Oasis in my library.
I'm sure
Champagne
you do. Everyone
Supernova
does.
or Morning Glory.
I have 3 of their songs.
That's about what they got. They're not a one-hit wonder. I'd say they're like a 3-hit wonder.
Which is crazy because when you said Oasis getting back together, I'm like, were they really that big of a deal in 3 songs?
They're a very big deal in England.
They're big, yeah.
Like they love them over there. Like people are making a very big deal out of it.
Always warm beer and beans for breakfast. Like what are we crazy place.
Dude,
I didn't know that was a thing, the whole bean situation, till I watched
weird.
Love is Blind UK.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting.
Would you like a toasty?
What?
It's another term for a grilled cheese. They call it a toasty.
Yeah, which I like that. That's cute. It's cute.
Would you like a toasty?
What's that? I mean, I don't know. That sounds like a Dutch oven.
Well, speaking of Dutch ovens, back to
hey, look, Tobin laughed because he knew what it meant.
Speaking of Dutch ovens, back to number 3. What was that, J-Fig?
Mike White.
Oh, rats off a shit. And the words of Conor McGregor, typical rat behavior.
Rats off a ship.
I'm rats off a ship. He's not on the team anymore.
True.
So I wish him no success.
Exactly.
Oh, see, now you can do it. Now you can do it. Earlier,
right.
it was that nice.
The team.
Now you guys have caught up to me. Now you guys are there. What about you, J-Fig?
Training for a teammate.
Not only did you leave the Dolphins, but you went to the Bills. Rats off a ship.
Rats off a ship.
And by the way, it's like, you know, like, oh, what do you think the Bills are going to do with it? Oh, well, what are their plays, Mike? Well, they got Tyreek Hill. He's really fast. And they got, you know, I couldn't get the ball out fast enough to get it to him, which is kind of crazy. But, and they got Devon Achane. They put him in motion. It's like, cool. You guys ever been to Flanagan's?
Do you own a green cup?
What about you, Frog Boy?
He's never going to see the field because Mitchell Trubisky is a backup quarterback in Buffalo. So, I don't know. I like his tweets. Unlike old long snapper over there.
He did have good tweets.
I'm going to miss my boy Mike White. Panthers fan as well. I'm not rats off a ship on Mike.
Was he a Panthers fan?
Oh, now you're questioning this.
I think he was. Enough to tweet about them.
What's number 4, Jennifer?
Apparently, there is a case spreading across the U.S. and it's called sloth fever.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
Sloth fever? We got more fevers?
Yeah,
You know, I'm rats off a ship. I never trusted sloths. You know, like they always, you know, they're always just, you knew they were up to something with their inactivity. And here they are making new diseases. Wow.
I think they were imported from Europe too.
Hey, so question.
Makes sense.
They're so slow. Can't you just avoid them?
I don't think that's how science works, dude.
I think that's how it works now.
It's not like they're going to scratch you.
How is
it
a sloth
includes
gonna...
fever, aches?
Can I just say this?
It's airborne.
How is a sloth going to catch me?
Cramp?
No. Even with a cramp.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen a sloth cross the street?
I have. It's pretty crazy.
Right. So here's an interesting concept.
It does not come from sloths, by the way.
Oh, no.
What?
No.
So where's it come from?
The virus can be found in other insects, including mosquitoes.
Oh, so it's the mosquito virus.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it turns you into a sloth?
It makes you feel like a sloth.
Well, come on, stop. They call it a mosquito bug.
And we already got that.
Yeah, true.
What was the one that was crazy for a while? They had to like tell pregnant people to stay inside.
Oh, I remember from Wynwood, right?
Yeah. What was that one? That was crazy.
I'm not sure, but this one also can affect pregnant women. I was reading.
Jeez.
Yeah, super rats off a ship.
You know, pretty soon, farmers gonna come out with a shot.
Zika
virus.
That was the one. That was, watch out, pregnant women. Stay away from Wynwood.
Zika virus.
Yeah. So all you having is get you get tired and a bit of a fever.
I think I may have the sloth fever right now.
My point is, I'm rats off a ship off all disease.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, let us live.
Can I just say this? I'm rats off a ship also because you can't trust anybody for the remedy or the treatment for it because you don't know whether they're trying to sell something or they really genuinely care about your well-being.
Right. Crazy.
Thanks,
Give us one more, Jennifer.
Sure thing. Patrick Mahomes' family. His dad has pled guilty to his 3rd DUI.
Jeez.
What?
I'm winning championships, and my dad had to celebrate more than me.
I gotta tell you, man, this Patrick Mahomes. No wonder he's so good at football.
He ain't doing nothing but being a good dude, and everybody around him is living that life.
Brother, annoying. Dad, can't stop drinking and driving. The wife, people don't like her either. I mean,
Why don't they like her again?
She's like sprayed champagne on the crowd, very unctuous around the.
Well,
the
besides
Kansas
that
City.
stuff, I feel like people hate her for other things now.
I don't know what her latest like I said, it's hard to keep up with the Mahomes family.
You know what's amazing?
Do you think the Mahomes feel? Do you think
amazing? That you ever notice that when a superstar wins a championship, the family, the brother, the wives, the kids feel more empowered?
Mm-hmm.
Like
For sure.
If the Super Bowl's played on Sunday and we didn't care what you had to say on Saturday, we sure as hell don't care what you had to say on Monday.
Definitely not.
Right, but for some reason they think so, and that's what's happening.
Patrick Mahomes probably sitting here is like, can the Kelce's just adopt me? I'm rats off a ship. I mean, like, but
rats off a ship.
Listen, he's got to go through some adversity. I mean, if you're the greatest quarterback of all time and you win with Kadarius Toney,
it's not even him, right? In most cases, it's the player that'll do something crazy.
Yep,
it's not him. The worst thing we can say about Patrick Mahomes is he had dad body when he showed up for camp.
Oh,
that's
man.
it.
They're probably like ridiculing him too, being like, "You're looking a little fat there, Patrick." Really? Where are your rats, Leroy?
I'm rats off a ship on this, man. Like, I hate when
rats off a ship.
The star is the star, and we pay attention to the star because of all the people around him.
J Fig?
I'm rats off a ship. You know how I feel about DUIs. I should have learned by the first time.
3 of them, dude.
3. There's 3.
I mean, can somebody drive him?
Like, should be rich enough to drive.
I don't think that matters.
How many times do you think Patrick Mahomes has offered his dad a chauffeur for life?
Yeah.
Hey, I'll take care of you. I got Carl.
Why the driver got to be named Carl?
You know why. Sounds like a driver.
Marcos?
Rats off a ship, dude. Fool me once, shame on you. Thrice? Come on.
Rats off a ship.
That means
the Dolphins.
He gonna do some time, right?
Nah.
No, he pled guilty, so I believe the term is extreme supervision is what he's under.
Extreme supervision, like what you have to do to a toddler.
Exactly.
See, that wouldn't happen if his son wasn't,
Oh, definitely not. If he doesn't have the son's lawyers for sure. His dad was a major leaguer, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Play for the Twins.
Yep. I don't know who he played for.
Yeah, it was
crazy. Anyway, take a break. Dolphins have made a waiver claim, have a new wide receiver. I'll tell you about it next.
hate this.
All right, welcome back, you rascals. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Couple things to tell you about here. First off, you guys can join the WQAM on-air staff at Smoke on the Water in Weston for Whiskey Stars and Cigars. Wednesday, September 25th. It's presented by Edmore Sawgrass Automall. Enjoy a fine whiskey, a good cigar, and Dolphins, Canes, Heat, and Panthers conversations with the WQAM staff. It's free to attend. Just RSVP at WQAM.com. Even you, Schmeathan, you can come and tell us to go to hell in person.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That would be nice. But you guys can, if you guys register there, you RSVP at WQAM.com, you will get your invite, a complimentary cigar. You must be over 21, drink responsibly, and you guys can come talk sports with the WQAM on-air staff at Whiskey Stars and Cigars Wednesday, September 25th on Smoke on the Water in Weston, presented by Edmore Sawgrass Automall and sponsored by the injury law firm of Judah and Cohen. Let's get to headlines, which of course is brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks. Dude, I'm the worst. Oh. Can I just tell you, I got twice.
Twice.
So last week, my wife said, hey, you know the what's the little I think it's Indonesian place in Fort Lauderdale where they do the little tiki hut and you remember that place?
Yeah, it's on it used to be by Pure Platinum.
It's reopening. You're right. It's reopening.
Isn't it Mai Tai? No,
yeah.
Mai Tai.
It might be Mai Tai.
Her company did some of the renovations.
Oh,
so
okay.
they're having a soft opening, right?
That's kind of cool.
And she said, we're invited.
Hmm?
So Saturday, I'm getting dressed. Right? She said, it's next month. Like, don't tell me. No, tell me when it is. I don't do stuff a month in advance. What are you talking about? So just now, I heard Steph and Jimmy talking, and I'm like, hey, aren't they broadcasting from there? He goes, no, we're talking about the Canes game. What are you talking about? I said, I'm talking about the cigar thing. He goes, that's next month. I'm like, I thought it was tonight.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious? No. You just heard of it today.
Yeah.
Somebody better remind me.
So what you're saying, I just want to be clear here. What you're saying is you're listening as
well. When people tell me stuff, I think it's coming up.
Oh, see what I was going to say.
Don't tell me about stuff a month away.
I thought you were going to say is my listening's been a little bit off today, and that's why I may have missed your long snapper take, Tobin.
You did. We replayed it.
No, we didn't.
I did not miss it.
After 17 minutes, it did end up in this. But that was after 17 minutes of
telling you it's a tight end or a linebacker.
You took two snaps.
No, that's not what you were saying. You were just saying it's a dumb idea in general.
For having a center do it.
But I know that the linebacker,
my whole argument behind
I know that Tanner Connor can't long snap. Like I didn't know if Andrew Meyer could long snap or not.
No, no.
True.
It's not an offensive line.
And in the text, he did say, I wonder.
Right.
I wonder if he could.
It was just,
and I said no. And you kept saying, hear me out. It's not going to be an offensive lineman. And Meyer is on this team to play offensive lineman. He made the team as an offensive lineman, not because he could long snap in addition.
Well, that's what it turned out to be, but that's not what I thought in the 30 minutes. I thought of wondering. And then that wondering, brainstorming, there are no bad ideas. And so we were just, taking a walk down the aisle of what if you did have a lineman and or tight end who could long snap?
You didn't say and or tight. Oh my goodness. This is the whole argument. You never said tight end until 17 minutes into the conversation.
You're lashing out, dude. I don't want to rehash this. I don't want to rehash this.
That's not lashing
out. Let's get to a training camp report sponsored by Miami-Dade County Public Schools Technical College.
Training camp report, right? Meyer's not going to be a long snapper.
Are you guys ready to level up your career game, such as going from a center to a long snapper? Well, you're going to have to train in the NFL for that. But for other trades, MDCPS technical colleges have got you covered. Choose from tons of programs, learn from top-notch certified instructors, and get real-world experience. The best part, You can graduate debt-free in just 1 to 2 years. If you're ready to make the move, log on to careerinayear.com or call 305-558-8000. MDCPS Technical Colleges, your best choice for a brighter future. The Dolphins, Leroy, have made a waiver claim. They have claimed wide receiver Grant DuBose from the Green Bay Packers, who, according to DairylandExpress.com, is one of the 5 players the Packers are going to regret cutting on their 53-man roster.
Ooh, Dairyland. Got to trust them. What else have they got to do?
DairylandExpress.com.
Dairyland Express.
He had no stats last year, but he was active for game 17, according to Barry Jackson.
Oh, look at that.
So there you go. Another wide receiver on the Dolphins. Yep.
My thing is, then why get rid of Ezukanma if you were just going to get another receiver anyway?
Maybe they think that Ezukanma is pretty hurt. I don't know.
Could be that. It could be that too.
True.
Because you really can't trust the Dolphins when it comes to injuries, because they're like, Odell Beckham, we'll see. And then like, nah, he had a procedure weeks ago. Sorry. Forgot to tell you guys. We expected it the whole time. Slipped my mind. Like, don't believe anything the Dolphins tell you about injuries.
Lower body injury.
They didn't even say that. They're just like, it's coming along. Progress, no timelines. Oh, he had a procedure the whole time. Sorry. Left that part out.
If it wasn't for honest Tua, we wouldn't really.
Which is what they hate that. Just like the Heat hated Goran Dragic, because Goran would sit here and he'd just spill secrets. Sorry, coach. My bad, Bobby. Goran, you keep breaking HIPAA laws. You weren't supposed to say that Kendrick Nunn had COVID. My bad, Bobby. Sorry. They thought process of elimination.
Nowadays, who cares? Noah Lyles, COVID, can't compete in the Paris Club later.
Yeah, COVID these days. Come on. Sloth fever, that you got to worry about.
You gotta watch out for that one.
Got to watch out for sloth fever.
Yeah.
We'll take a quick break here on the show. More shenanigans on the other side. Back after the
WQA.
All right, welcome back, you rascals. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQM. Hey, the Great Country Show, Stars and Strings, is coming to Hard Rock Live on November 14th. We got your chance to win tickets to see Jordan Davis, Riley Green, Parker McCollum.
Mother.
Whoa.
The thing underneath the.
So glad you didn't finish that.
Are you okay?
No, you know how the point of the underneath the thing
where the headphone jack is?
Yeah.
Would you happen to hit your knee?
Straight on, man.
Towards
You
the
right?
ACL.
Hit that funny bone?
Like, this is the best we could do with this.
It's literally the
8
first time
years
it's ever
building
happened.
this.
Yeah.
The first week it leaked, and now I got ACL surgery or kneecap. I got to get my kneecap fixed.
I gotta be honest with you. This is a classic lash out from you. I've never banged my knee on that.
That hit takes the air out of you. I will say that.
You've done that too, J-Fig?
Yeah.
Really? You're the size of Thumbelina. How did that happen to you?
I'm the size of what?
You're
First
the size
of
of
all,
Thumbelina.
idiot, wait.
How
First
the
of
hell
all,
did you do
idiot.
that?
Wait. Let
Whoa.
me tell you something about old show pony here.
What?
See, that's where we
where,
sit.
I just look where he sits.
Mhm.
It's flat. He doesn't have a point in
He
front
That's
of
has
not true.
space.
That's
you
not
have
true.
a lot of space on that side.
It's flat.
Nah, the jack is right there, dude. It's hanging right there.
That thing. No. We have a corner. The corner of that
Oh
box
my
underneath,
God.
right where we sit.
It's just very weird position because
Right,
the
that's what I'm
computer's on one
saying.
side. It's too much.
Marcos, is he eating today? Like, did he like not have a side of
Probably
lashed
not.
potatoes? Like, what's going on with him?
No. He was gonna order, but it just wasn't doing it for him today.
Right.
So he decided not to.
Too late.
Pretty wild, man.
And he didn't
Anyway,
have all
stars
plates
and stars and strings. If you guys want to go, text the word acoustic to 20357. ACOUSTIC. Acoustic. Text that to 20357, and you can win a pair of tickets to see Stars and Strings. Message and data rates may apply. I'm already getting bugged by Sophia. She's like, "Can I go?"
Oh,
hey, when is
It's a really
this?
good lineup.
Is this soon? Or
Stars
is
and
this
Strings.
next month?
November.
Stars and Strings is in November 14th.
okay. You gotta advertise for it.
Yeah, Leroy, you gotta advertise for shows.
I know.
He
Do
watches
you
it.
want to go? Intangibles?
No.
No.
What?
It's a good lineup, Leroy. You might like it.
No, I'm not averse to listening to good music. Not at all.
What I like about Stars and Strings is that they talk to their audience and then they tell you the reasoning
Right.
behind the
Like,
song
see-
or how they wrote it. I love hearing all that kind of stuff.
I'm not like some of these music snobs that only listen to a certain type of music. You guys are very aware that I listen to all music.
Yep.
So, and good music is good music.
Mm-hmm.
I am turned away from music when I can listen to 3 songs in a genre and they all sound alike.
You know where I need you to turn?
Huh?
To the Windowplex for a weather update.
If my knee still works.
From the Demesman and Dover Law Firm, your accidentattorneys.com. Free consultations 24/7. Call them at 866-954-MORE.
He can barely walk.
Let me get. I usually have a guy for this, but I got to do it myself. It is mostly cloudy, which is weird because I see the sun. So the sun must be north of me. Winds are blowing out of the east, southeast. Say those clouds are moving at a nice little clip, 15 miles an hour. They're looking kind of dark. So I'm going to say it's going to rain if it hasn't already. And the temperature is going to be right around 90, 91 degrees. But I can't figure out for the life of me, folks, if somebody could please explain this. Because I'm a simple man. When it was 100 degrees a few weeks ago, we didn't have a heat warning. It's 91 degrees, and they say with the heat index, we have a heat advisory.
Right.
I don't really listen to that.
Isn't that
There's
crazy?
a heat advisory every day here.
No, it's not that
but I'm just
crazy.
saying, why is it supposedly feel hotter now with the temperature lower than when it was hot as hell?
Right. Well, the heat advisory, you don't have to give an advisory for 100 degrees. Hundy's a hundy. You know, it kind
Right.
of speaks for itself. If you go at
That's like when we
91,
in Vegas cooking by the pool off of that mirror of a casino or hotel, they didn't have to say, "Hey, be careful, it's hot out there." We knew.
Yeah. It's not crazy like, a center playing long snapper. Now that's crazy. By the way, you were totally correct.
It looks like you look like an off-season Santa today.
Wow.
Wow, Dane's out.
Wow.
You back to my boy.
So you saying Santa fattens up during the season?
Yeah. He needs to store up
Wouldn't
that
the
energy.
off-season Santa be bigger?
That's what they want you to believe. It's like off-season Tyler Herro. He gets bigger.
Marcos, stop it.
Let me tell you something.
Immediately
That
stop.
ain't nothing, that's nothing but oils and berries he rubbing over his body to make Tobin think he all swole.
This year he's actually
He literally only posts for you.
dude,
He knows the effect he has on you.
look, I don't know if you guys know this, all right, but there's a gains advisory for Tyler Herro. All right,
Is he
It's a
pumping up the vitamin D so his bones don't break?
dude? I don't know. It doesn't, but right now, look at this man.
Whoa.
Look at him.
First of all,
Woo-wee.
first of all, I'm gonna tell you right now.
Did he oil himself before this picture?
No, I have so many more questions.
That's real sweat.
I have so many more questions. First of all, are you working out or doing a photo op with the sunglasses and the ski cap on?
What's going on with that?
That's
Right?
true. What's going on here? Yeah.
So if you're gonna take that picture and I'm gonna see you with your whole outfit, I'm assuming that you're rubbing some type of oil on you.
Are his
because
shorts
you ain't
camo?
gotta work out. Who
Yeah, that's
works
why you
out with
can't
ski
see
cap
'em.
and glasses? I'll wait. No one, except Rocky when he was in Russia.
Well, if you're a sweater, like maybe he wants the ski cap to absorb the sweat, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
He wouldn't have a knit cap. A knit cap doesn't absorb.
It absorbs. It absorbs.
No, it doesn't.
It absorbs. Of course it does.
Oh my goodness, dude. Well,
The shades too keep the sweat out of his eyes.
Yeah, I'm sure that.
Well, if he's working out in his
exactly what it's there
garage,
for.
he's got that. If you got that South Florida sun beaming in, like if he's got the door open, you know,
Do you see any reflection of light there?
No.
Oh,
a
but
little
look
bit.
at that,
You know,
though.
you never know.
Besides it bouncing off his chest.
You know, I guess you guys just don't have Boy Wonder's swagger. I don't know what to tell you guys. Like the kid has been.
Never
The kid
gonna
walked
have
into the league saying he's best drip here. Scotty Drippin is out here. He's got gains for days, and everybody's hating on him. I don't like it.
doesn't all clothes absorb? No, dry fit doesn't.
Yeah, and he doesn't have dry fit on. He has a ski cap.
Unless you're Justin Herbert.
He
That's
doesn't have
wool.
a shirt on.
Wool absorbs, dude.
And
Huh? You think that's wool?
Wool.
Yeah, it's a wool cap.
Why the hell in the
that?
middle of the heat advisory you wearing a wool hat?
Seriously.
Little sweat. If you're gonna, let's say it's like the same effort as wearing like a sweatsuit. Samesies.
So his arms are glistening like that because he has the hat on and the sunglasses.
Yeah.
No, his arms are listening because he's probably got a hard workout in. I mean, that does not look like somebody who wants to work out in the
does not
Bahamas.
look
I'll tell you
like
that
he's doing
much.
a hard workout, dude.
Yeah.
What?
Dane South brings up a good point, though. Is this like a Big Lots mirror? Look at the positioning. It's like leaned up against a cardboard box.
Everybody, even the rich and famous have a lot of clutter in their garage, right? So like he's like thinking to himself, you know, this is a good place for a mirror.
You know how long this we do this every year.
Mm-hmm.
Every year. And then we get 40 games. And then we do it again next year.
Nah, dude, I'm, you would agree, Marcos, a little different this year, right? Like the chest, a little beefy.
I mean, he is getting older.
He is getting older. Those man muscles.
He's going to get his man body pretty soon.
That's all I'm saying, dude. You know, he's got that
You
dad
know,
strength.
But guess what? It's also the positioning.
Yes.
It's the angle.
You're treating
He's
him like
trying to show a little bit of his chest so you can think he looks
check this
bigger.
out. How to make yourself look swole.
All in
Hold
the
on
angle.
to this big ass weight so my muscles got to flex just to hold it.
Oh, please. You guys see now you sound like
He's
you
doing
just
that slight.
you guys were just
When I go
giving
home,
him his
I'ma do
props.
that- I'm gonna do that same exercise except with a much lesser weight.
I would like you to do that. Can
And
you
I'm
recreate the Tyler Herro? But I need you to have the wool cap.
No, I'm not putting
It's
on
not
wool.
wool. That's
This man
crazy to
don't-
do that here in Miami.
It is a wool cap. Like that's a very classic winter cap. What other things would you make it of? What is it made of? Alpaca?
Except it's not winter.
Ew.
It doesn't matter though. Like listen,
Dude,
he
you
wears
don't sweat in those hats like that.
Literally, last year I saw him leave the game with a bucket hat, a furry bucket hat, and rain boots, and it wasn't raining.
Maybe I can use my
That's
rain
more
boots are a lot more
That's more acceptable
here.
than wearing this inside
Maybe
with sunglasses.
I'm gonna try my magical Android to see if I can potentially find where he got that from.
The hat?
Yeah.
Probably got it from like an LLB.
Make sure you better make sure they're making it extra large.
Look at that. It says Tyler Herro, too swole to detect.
Wow.
Like, do we not know how many push-ups and dips did he do before he took that picture?
Who cares? What's wrong with it?
And they probably told him, hey, you want to really look swole? Hold on to this weight.
I don't understand this. So, like, now you're not allowed to take a picture after a workout. You got to do it pre-workout. Like, of course, if you're feeling good about your body, you want to peacock. You want to spread your feathers a little bit. And now you're shaming him because he looks good? I don't get this.
That's not, no.
And J-Fig's acting like he's an Instagram model, putting his cheeks on the bathroom sink.
I'm shaming him because Tyler Herro working out and showing those
He
muscles.
basically is. What are you talking about?
I'm shaming him because Tyler Herro working out and taking that picture is like a woman walking by in a push-up bra. It's
No,
fake.
that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That's too strong. I won't let you say that.
Okay.
Too much.
Okay.
You were 2 minutes ago. You're talking about man muscles, and now all of a sudden you're making it seem like he's
looking pretty swole.
Look, he looked like he was doing the same Kyle Lowry workout. Look at the weight on the ground.
It's not
Maybe. Stunt Steve says we're shaming him because he's still going to miss 30 games. You know, not with an attitude like that, Stunt Steve. We got to have good vibes, all right?
We don't need good vibes. We need good muscles.
The only thing that the Heat have done as a mistake is plan training camp on the Bahamas. Terrible. I mean, I'd rather you have it in Tyler Herro's garage than the Bahamas.
I agree with Cap for life. It's for the gram.
That's fine. It is for the gram. That's literally what we're getting. This is for the gram.
Listen, I'm fine with that, but I only get upset when Tobin makes more of it than it's just for the gram.
The kid's putting in work. I'm just applauding the work. That's all.
You applauded every single time he posts a picture.
I can applaud the work. We can applaud the work.
You can't tell how much he's worked by that picture.
He definitely looks beefier in the chest.
Come on, you got to admit.
Really?
Yeah.
Keep J-Fig around him because he got a bird chest.
Dude, he does not have a bird chest. Used to have a bird chest. But you're making it seem
Washington's looking from up above going, I was more swole than that, Birdman.
My spirit is more swole. Didn't save me from the mallet death, though. Take a break. Back after this.
It's a $22 beanie, I think.
This
All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. If you missed any of today's show, you can get the Tobin and Leroy podcast now fixed. You guys can get it all for you. Full show episode, hour by hour, broken up. Frog Boy's got it up for you. He fixed it, dude. Yeah. Check that on out. Also, YouTube and Twitch, Miami 560 WQAM. Dalvin Cook's a Cowboy.
They were talking about them signing him as soon as he got released.
Did they also bring back Zeke?
Yeah.
They got Dalvin, Zeke, and
they got rid of Zeke because he was moving like an ice wagon. You think they brought him back faster?
But who's their starting running back? I don't even know who the starting running back.
That's the one thing I could say, that at the end of my career, I still had a little burst.
Little giddy up.
But I knew damn well if I would have come back another year, that it wouldn't have been there.
Were you surprised or not surprised that they kept Jeff Wilson? The Dolphins.
I was a little bit, but it could also mean like a couple of those guys come back on the practice squad, right?
Yeah.
And who's to say they don't work out something with San Francisco?
Like a trade?
Yeah.
Like why?
Huh?
Why?
Because all they have is Christian McCaffrey. Their backup guy got hurt.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe.
And you could sell it to him because you're like, hey, you can go back.
I will give them Jeff Wilson for Deebo Samuel.
No.
Well, then I guess we got no trade. Click.
No,
I'm sorry,
here,
did you
it's
just
not the
propose
player.
Jeff Wilson
Do
for
you understand? Can I say sometimes you just say some stupid stuff?
What? What do you mean, dude?
It's not the player. It's the money.
I'm just saying.
It's not the player. It's the money.
I'd really like Deebo Samuel.
Not for that much money with all the players you already have.
I'd take it. Listen, don't we have like 24 million in cap space or like 28 million in cap space? Let's use it, baby. Let's go into debt.
Here. How about we try to find a couple of offensive and defensive linemen?
Big Daddy Ross.
Yeah. Did you hear me?
Listen,
Spend those
Do you, like,
I
don't see
Mania.
Jennifer, I'm gonna talk to you.
Oh, okay.
Because here's why I get so irritated at conversations like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if it doesn't work out, Tobin's going to be the first one to say, why didn't they bring any offensive linemen or defensive linemen in the beginning of the year? You see what I'm saying?
Why is he
When
hiding
they
his
knew
face?
that's what they were going to need, and they had 24 million.
Deebo.
And plus, listen, we already have a lineman waiting in the wings in Patrick Paul. He's a giant. So we got one. All right. We got Andrew
Yeah,
Meyer.
but how do you know he can play
Meyer
a
was
different
pretty
position?
good. I looked at Meyer's stats. Pretty good. Only allowed 1.5 sacks in 3 years.
At UTEP?
Yeah, well, makes sense.
UTEP was playing FIU and FAU.
They did, yes. He put up, he was responsible, partially, for putting up 332 rushing yards against FIU.
Mauler. I think he was on the Remington list, too.
Look at that.
UTEP 2-snap. Telling you, dude. Something about him. I sent Leroy a picture of him, too. He's a couple laps from a long snapper. Not too beefy.
Also, ran a 5.08.
Looks like a lineman who can get after it a little bit.
Yeah, definitely a pulling center.
Andrew
The
Meyer.
last time they tried that too much, the ball started rolling on the ground with Eichenberg.
Well, he's on the ground a lot, Eichenberg. I mean, like, it's honestly.
Dude, I'm like, what is he doing? Play soccer?
I don't know. Andrew Meyer this preseason. This is from Pro Football Focus Miami Dolphins. 101 pass blocking snaps, 3 pressures, 98 pass block efficiency.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything with a 98 is good, except the temperature.
Actually, yeah. Also the band.
It's just normal.
One hit
Aren't they
wonder.
going to be at the they're somewhere, right?
98 degrees.
I think in Coconut Creek. I feel like I saw them on a billboard driving home this week.
On tour?
98 degrees. in
Yeah.
Coconut
Oh,
Creek?
they are. The Seminole Coconut Creek Casino.
Man. How about that?
Yeah.
You know, I got to tell you, this Nick Lachey, he hosts a lot of the dating shows. He's the host of Love is Blind. And he looks miserable.
Oh, man.
Not a very chipper host. I need somebody with a little bit more positivity if I'm going to figure out if Love is Blind or not. Nick.
Doesn't even smile in pictures.
Is there a new season?
No, currently there's a UK season if you want to watch it, JFig.
Oh, I did see it.
But
it was good.
Nick Lachey is not the host of that. They have some,
another couple.
Yeah, they
I
actually
like them.
Yeah, it's one of the Oasis brothers. They're the host. Well, you guys got a lot more love than me and my brother, Liam.
They were very chipper.
Barry Jackson says the Dolphins have released lineman Jack Driscoll to make room for wide receiver.
See that?
Grant DeBose.
It's going to be a lot of movement.
Vita Vea pushed Jack Driscoll off the.
You know what sucks? You know what sucks? He thought he made the team.
That's tough.
That's tough. He probably called everybody and said, I made it. Only to call back tomorrow and say, I didn't.
David Ferronis. This is a great tweet, though, because David Ferronis from the Sun Sentinel, he tweets, Dolphins GM Chris Greer is speaking to the media right now. Dolphins GM Chris Greer says the team is confident in current O-line. He also announced the team released Jack Driscoll.
Okay.
So confident, just not in Jack.
Yeah, just everyone with this guy.
And also just some NFL news that has come through. The Pittsburgh Steelers have tweeted, Coach Tomlin has named Mr. Unlimited Russell Wilson as the starting quarterback.
No question. I knew that was coming.
So Russell Wilson said, I think the only guy who's not announced yet is the Patriots. And Jared Mayo is saying that he's not telling the media until he tells his team. So,
be careful though. It's spicy.
What's spicy?
And they won't and it won't even matter for them until this weekend. Or they might announce it to them.
Patriots. I stopped believing in their offense when they refused to tell me who the offensive coordinator was 2 years ago. They're like, nah, who cares? Offensive coordinator, offensive coordinator. Who needs one?
Man. So let me ask you, Leroy, are you going to get even with me tomorrow? Or are you going to come in? Like, are you, what's the plan?
That hour trip?
Bro, it's bad. What route did you take today?
It gotten better.
You know,
I don't know what happened this
week. Today was worse.
Yeah. Today's traffic told yesterday's traffic, hold my beer.
Yeah.
And then people just jump in front of you.
Yeah.
I'm like, so I'm pulling, and I leave a little space because it's stop and go, stop and go.
Yep.
So somebody jumps in front of me, and then they basically, so now I'm right I'm right on top of them, right? Because I want them to feel like, why I was leaving space. And we stopped. I rolled down my window. I said, that's not cool. I ought to get out and beat your ass. We wasn't moving. I had time.
Man.
Don't be yelling at people.
But come on, man.
So good.
I left 1 inch and he wedged his car there and dared me to hit him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no.
I have audio from the other car.
All right. Well, so you're saying I will see you via video tomorrow then?
I don't know. I might come in.
All right. I'll see you either way.
Well, let us know by tonight.
Yes.
I might go in.
What does it have to do with the time you leave your house?
I mean, you're going to go by your gut, so it doesn't really.
You're right. Yeah, I'll go by my gut. But most likely I will be in tomorrow.
All right.
You're going to show up the same time you normally show up on video.
You know what? Just tell me to stay home then.
I'm just saying.
Should we wear ski caps and sunglasses tomorrow?
Oh, if we want
I'll do it if you do it.
I could just do this.
Okay.
Nobody's lost more to their headphones than you.
They're very, look at that.
They got a lot of snap to them, a lot of recoil.
There's no structure there.
That is an aerodynamic hoodie you got there.
It is.
That ain't right.
We'll talk to you rascals tomorrow.
Hope you mother have a good day.